thing. And that is why Network for Societal Transformation is here to tell you, so come and let's learn something. Ora Francis Oche, Eja Akwaba.
Yeni nana.
Boko ori ofa.
Eradi adum nana.
Me pa cho kwai da from.
Ana me da so pa.
You bit me di kom.
Yami you eti for yesterday edi kan ye betia mo. Na ye kai mo say ye Network for Societal Transformation said ye na edi kan aka ho asem no. Ye ho asem ena wasugusu a wotie. Ebia na onte ye nkada na enne ene de edi kan a wotie ho asem a. Ye dwumeku a dwuma ye dia ne se ye kyerɛkyerɛ enyume bi a onipa bia emfa ho ne se de otie obetimi aye bi ene wiase no ye nya dwuma baako adwuma bi a oyɛ no onya enyume bi ka ho a eboa paa sebe de oyɛ na bi asɛmba ho a na o side business bi a obetimi ede onan esiso ana so obetimi de ho atoso eboa okwan bebree so edi ye we ene enya ya nyame adom 15 years ni ye de a kyerɛkyerɛ enyume bi a onipa bi abetimi aye bi a ohia sika kɛse bia enioma ya na ye kyerɛ no ye no ohia machines bia ohia store bia mpo ansana waye sa enyuma ne bi enti sɛ utie me na ebia oye adwuma open business bia ka de oye ho a ano enyumre area bre me kan for Network for Societal Transformation amount ebia utie me wapadwuma onya bi nyeye me kan for Network for Societal Transformation amount ebi kura na utie me na oye housewife ene oye adwuma etesen na onye bi kura me kan for Network for Societal Transformation amount bosumi bi aye de da krusi ho ne aye 1 day business and empowerment workshop nyame adom programmi aye mfaso amenipa bibire wo man mu na ye dwumedi a edi kan e wa afi mu no e ba so Saturday a ebe ya memenda ebe ya aye 11th February ye de sada yesi ho a ye 1 day business and empowerment workshop dwumedi kasiye yi e ba so e wa Accra here National Theatre e won kran here ena memendei dwumedi kasiye e ba so ye de memendei esi ho se ye de kyerɛkyerɛ businesses bia onipa bia betimi aye bi ebra ohie sika kasiye bia ye niema efie bi ehia ye niema ebusua bi ehia na kyerɛ so obisua ebetimi aboa epacho oye housewife amayi hu mfrim ebe ye mfaso amabusua oman betwa so abadaache obesuasua imprimpri no amfa nya adwuma mpa ewo trim daache 5 years 10 years eso ebetimi aba mfaso ansa na meka program ne ho asem no epacho fa number ya mede today Ansah ebi kra na oteka mu na otie me number no eye 0244 474093 0244 474093 0244 474093 a Network for Societal Transformation a chanitia a friend and nest ye ho asem na wotie nyame ya doma Saturday na programmi baso e National Theatre ye be kyerɛkyerɛ enyume ya me de ba today niema simple enje bre unhia machine bia unhia ska kɛse bia edi kan ye be kyerɛ kwane a ye fa so prepare liquid soup ye Saturday a ebeyi e National Theatre shampoo conditioner setting lotion styling gel after wash Izal fake Parazone ye be kyerɛ kwane ye fa so prepare no e National Theatre fake Parazone Parazone ya epu ahuru
you mean TH
ICH what's a Parazone bi ho no ma epu ahuru ti se semina ye be kyerɛ se de ye no na we no nyina ngi biro a check about 5-10 minutes no mix ye enso nipa adwene enya nkoso intini ye kyerɛ se de ye sa enyume nyina enje biro kra very simple very simple nyame adom ye sha ase a check akra
we better the 5 minutes yes here the quality aspect
eniema mienu miensa na ye ka bom o ka fry ya do nya Parazo so simple interesting so
okay
ye best the kwan ba ho anu etwa for National Theatre na odu eni abehwa de we da say ye best so akire kwan ye fa so prepare fresh yogurt fluffy ice cream sa enyume nyina eniema simple a enje bre ɛno nti ɛna yɛkyerɛkyerɛ sɛdeɛ adwuma bi a woyɛ no wobɛtumi ayɛ na ɔde aka ho. Yɛbɛkyerɛ cola drink, malt, communion wine, pizza, soya kebab, meat pie. Menim sɛ nneɛma a mewobɔ so no bibi kɔ so wadwenem. Wobisa ho sɛ yɛbɛyɛ da ne yɛsua nneɛma yi da koro mepa akyɛw sɛdeɛ di kan no liquid soap ɛngye brɛ some few minutes no ayɛ wie. Shampoo, conditioner, setting lotion, styling gel, after wash, parazone die pu ahure yi yɛbɛkyerɛ kwan ne ɛfa so ɛyɛ no. Yogurt, fluffy ice cream, cola drink, malt, communion wine, pizza. Saa nneɛma nyinaa ɛngye brɛ yɛsrɛ ɛmfa ho sɛ obi nim atwerɛ ɛmfa ho sɛ obi nim akenkan sɛdeɛ wotie biaa fa w'ani kyerɛ National Theatre Saturday a ɛbɛ yi na ɛbɛyɛ nhyira kɛse ama busua. Yɛbɛsen akyerɛ kwan yɛfa so prepare pizza, soya kebab, meat pie, cake, ring donuts, mushrooms. Yɛapɛ agrekefoɔ a ɔmo bɛkyerɛkyerɛ sɛdeɛ yɛdua mmire mushrooms, snails farming ɛnwa kwan yɛfa so yɛn wɔn, catfish ɛne tilapia. Ɛwo a yɛdie yɛ a ɛno nso animdifoɔ bɛkyerɛkyerɛ sɛdeɛ yɛ prepare honey, bar soap ɛde si nneɛma yɛbɛkyerɛ ne yɛ Saturday wei ɛwɔ National Theatre. Alata samina gel, emulsion paint, washing powder, banana bread, car and motor tracking device, biodigester ɛna ointment. Enyume yi a yɛde ato dwa yi weinom ɛna nyame adoma Saturday wei yɛkyerɛkyerɛ ne yɛ ɛwɔ National Theatre. Yɛsrɛ dwumadie bɛhyɛ ase anɔpa 8 o'clock. Menim sɛ obi bisa sɛ ɛho kyeseyɛ te sɛn, ɛho registration te sɛn. Nneɛma a yɛkyerɛ ne yɛ nyinaa adwene ɛtae kyerɛ ne sɛ ɛbɛyɛ nhyira, ɛbɛyɛ mfasoɔ ama nipa. Registration nneɛma a yɛkyerɛ ne yɛ nyinaa no ɛho siketua ɛyɛ 250 Ghana cedis. 250 Ghana cedis. First no a nke bɛka sɛ 2.5. 250 Ghana cedis. Bibia nka ho bio. Bibia enka ho bio. Na mmom kae sɛ yɛnyɛ mobile money nso ɛmo bia in advance. Hyɛaseɛ save ɛnɛ yɛ Monday program na ɛba so Saturday we a ɛwɔ National Theatre. Save nyame yɛ adoma onya 10 cedi 20 save sa ɛnu Saturday no ɛso 250 a oba program na se a na do sika ba na ɔbɛ register ɛwɔ dwumadie no ase Saturday no a yɛbɛ start anɔpa 8 o'clock. Yɛkyerɛkyerɛ enyume wi a Ansah yɛ. Yɛahyɛ da yɛ videos fɛfɛɛfa a yɛde ato pen drive so a yɛbɛkya ma obiaa sɛbe obi nim atwerɛ obi nim akenkan wode video no kɔ fie a wobɛtumi ahwɛ pen drive no ɛwɔ TV so. Ɛkwan ne yɛfa so ɛyɛ liquid soap sɛdeɛ prepare shampoo, conditioner, setting lotion, styling gel, after wash, Izal, take parazone, fresh yogurt, fluffy ice cream, cola drink, malt, communion wine, pizza, soya kebab, meat pie, cake, ring donuts, mushrooms, snails farming, catfish ni tilapia farming, kwan yɛfa so yɛn wɔn, honey, bar soap, alata samina gel, emulsion paint, washing powder, banana bread, car and motor tracking device, biodigester, any ointment. Yɛayɛ videos ama saa nneɛma nyinaa sɛbe obi nim akenkan na video no kɔ fie a ɛbɛtumi akaekae wo sɛdeɛ ɛyɛ saa enyume nyinaa bere a ɔrehwɛ ɛwɔ TV so anaa ɔrehwɛ wɔ phone so anaa empo o laptop so. Sign fa number ne bio mpakyɛw ɛyɛ 0244 47 4093 0244 47 4093 0244 47 4093. Na abra yɛde yɛn kasaeɛ ɛba wieyɛ mesrɛ kae sɛ program yi ɛba so Saturday ya ɛwɔ National Theatre. Time no yɛ anɔpa 8 o'clock. Registration ɛyɛ 250 cedis. Bibia nka ho bio. Na mmom yɛnyɛ mobile money nso in advance. Twɛn hyɛaseɛ na prepare ho Saturday oba dwumadie no ase a na do sika ba aba register ɛwɔ National Theatre. Time no ɛyɛ anɔpa 8 o'clock. Yɛsrɛ yɛkyerɛ wie nsan yɛasan so ayɛ certificates kama yɛbɛkyɛ de ama obia. Certificate no yɛ ntɔn mepakyɛw ɛyɛ free. Ne nyinaa ɛhyɛ 250 no emu. pen drive I demand yenton e free. Nina she 250 no emu. Ya sans why your book special. A quania fast yes I and you mean na. Eddie account my betchama will be a book nenso yenton. Ya betche baby 1 year baby raw materials a hood winning in every ato. Said your program net chino. Ope saw dear with Juma. Oko pebi ewa mia baby a utibi a benye biato. Containers, gallons a hodo. Packaging, said your packaging products. Nina ya betche. Yes, sir. Said your uti bia. Bra National Theatre. Saturday way. Oye Juma now pebiaka hua bra. Wako pensioner brebi. Sebe oye housewife a brebi. Sebe wapa Juma chebi bintu unye binye ya Bra National Theatre. Saturday way. Na beyen faso kese. Ebi ana wamfanya Juma fi. Ewo trim 5 years, 10 years. Eso betinya bamfaso amebusunya. Nemum kai se. Eniyema ye chire ne na nje bre. Enje bre eniyema simple nyame adom ya chire over the years. Onso ba ebeyen faso amount. Abra mi beje mu amana nei. Me pa cho sign fa number ni bio bo modern fa number mede air today. Ye number no a network for societal transformation. Ye ho asem na utie. Number no ebiem a 0244 47 40 93 0244 47 40 93 0244 47 40 93. Kai say bibia na boom a 250 cities. Bibia nka ho bio save over program na Saturday. Now the Sikaba, now be tia our National Theatre. Nana, me pacho me da say.
Me da say Uncle Francis. Ayi, your friend say, obi a send me a message. Or say, Monfa Uncle Francis edin enwu eye ne din na se e wo Facebook nti nkrofo hu no. Eye Eugene eye sa ade no. Mpacho obi na send me kura na ma dwene ma ho. Obi na send me nti. Ana Eugene me boa. Eno bi so wa wi o nti di go okra wa wi. But almost in country, this is any Pakromeka Manka. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so that's it live on our 100.5 Citizen Show Monday afternoon. You're signing more share. Let's do this.
While the business of the nation awaits the attention of government, all that we hear are excuses upon excuses. The most common of them being that the problems of the nation are all the fault of the MPP. Fellow Ghanaians, excuses can never be a substitute for vision and purposeful action. And can never lead to the better Ghana we were promised. The NDC claims almost on a daily basis that this or that problem was left by the MPP administration. I say to President Mills today, if you say that the system is broke, fix it.
From na mintimin kasama Ghana ni biantiasia. So obia ye juma for 30 years, 35 years. Enipa di 64 obviously so kofi. Obia kofi ko home ya ehwo no nya kwai ehwe ne nananom ototo ne niema ototo n'echi. So obviously pani bia wo niema obetoto ewo n'echi. Then for whatever reason one day aban bia sorry. Aban ne sorry ya no. Aban ne si oh se si ano dia akwa ne se madidwa maboka kana mabɔ no manfa ma Dr. Aduana ne di ye de nanso Dr. Aduana ne wo bibi da baabi enkrofo bi so mbeso mimu se enkrofo si Ansah no mbeso mimu no kan kitinkiti bi amemene me na saaka no menhwɛ na mentwitwangu na afei de minkyerɛ sɛ ampa si yɛma me sika menye kohwini bio enti saa de a mo amene mu tifie ha no me baba be fo obi a de nkakra de akɔ It is how we are busuani penny, papa penny, mame penny. What this 64, 65, if you had 70 years, the question is, all right, so Dr. Aduanane Fiase, on a convener, the my pensioner bondholders forum, former Director General, Securities and Exchange Commission, was someone minor in a very big capacity. Can you imagine? Very big capacity. Hi, Doc Akwaba.
Yeah, Oba.
Pacho Boko de
Yamiadum.
Aja, and I'm call a year picketing and finance ministry. Boy and common say, I didn't democall.
Well, say, Ochina any Bosumi.
Yeah,
the Kratakoma finance minister.
Yeah,
Say, only free debt exchange. Na yenina so ade say wo mo asabri mo emrantia ene mrabawa mo ye adwuma
yeah,
amunya ma pension no musika motiti to ho ye hweso amamo na daachi mo ba pension mo de abefie abehwe mo no abai se on finance anka because what in saka daachi mo befie a mo bebre abai ni ka person de saka na adwuma fo nya aka se de bi esika akra daachi ere be ko pension no de memfa on se nka Emma, your pension, I am mebre. It abaya to us, yes, will be pension funds every. So bear dachi, over pension, I'm mebre.
yeah.
And I say, that's a woman about pension. Woman, your mind, also one person more brinty, where you almost seek a free one. Then Tina, I have pension, dada. This is care about pension. Yes, we had the abroad, say the Bobie, and then we win free. And 24 be said, and so brew and a snow document. The almost can a brew, a young farmer, ye did the Amaya, the air document. It is be him. It is why you say uncle for the free media. Nay, so I have a pension that an easy car. The same pensions you can add by yes, we have a Bobie, and ye flew. If they crowd the air more bossing or Omunyama pension.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Abri, yeah, and they talk electricity, water, BBR. And kind of near Wedgman, now buy a company, be a company car, where is the transport allowance? Yeah, we have a housing allowance, or macro school fees, need to or medical need to and yeah, there's I didn't even baby your pensions can they are mawa, they are obviously and your interest crown, and one year did it. It is all the air come a ye into ye free. Busumini, I buy any yen free. And I say, the penny for Casa, a far man penny for me, no penny for any penny, my penny.
Marco Oracle for
your call of my penny that I'm Haman a Yano, and say what to kind. You don't mind penny,
but Moko Oracle for no say,
or no, so but KBR my aim. Well, like I said, so I could crowd who say, Ubia who I could grab boom, send you, yeah, to also be KBR mine. It is not here, but picketing last week or last 2 weeks, any to share. That's it. Any and penny for and so any and Komaka Ansah. Ya, near doing you say, Yana in ye. It was a bino. I see the Moses and of Pessoy. It only in film when ye and film name was him and she fruby at the Amayan. And they said, any yes, and she said, and she is happy there or the second bed at all and fear in. Na if na or my mufa.
Initially, how many years? 15.
Brow Sikano mature this year there. Naka Sabaka Nina, I just said at the end of 12 years. So
12 years.
Yes, the 12 year no now Sabaka Usika Nina. So now Usikano mature next year there. And at the end of the 15th year, and now Sabaka Usikani.
Whoa.
They say
sorry, Doc. My memory say when fans will say 12 years and 15 years become few. I know what they say.
They say me do 66 into say 15 become and just what the chuma. Oh, now we call 1 year. Say
80. Now 80 plus. I open 90. Whoa.
Say me rubber to me. Abana who says I don't know. And yet, what the year you ma in ye. Into the what tears ye through, and we see I've been feeling. And interest in so first na ka 0 I feel we actually next year we 5% na fe call 9% call 9.5 na fe the one say pensioner for the woman 15% and feel num ni nyina mo amunye no pension
but previously nanka you say
0 this year is 0
what I mean is say na sign komo we my normal mamo eye
do obia woni dia
depending on
bond
okay
no
all right
obi dia be 18 wa omo to omo dia che obi dia be 19 omo to omo dia nche kra no they will be say 30 34 near the
then omo decide some be capping
15
oh
it just say I don't know see aban the aba na omo enye pensioner for so I and so anything na pensioners no dey ya dey beto anim say yin film fa yen ka say na wo dey pension funds no I can am bank account yes so fa yen ka ho enti ni aba de ba no wa ya dey say we improve terms no but yen no na pensioner for the ye plan say wo be ye film kura ti enunti ayente ho emuaye no ene ma ene say e fi na ekono ye de bia be kwakotra ministry honum e fira no pa nondu ekopim nondu baako na ya kai minister and say ye de gina ho a ye twen ho say ye firim
but doc ampany 40 some bet me agina wi aso sa
na ye pay nipa bia nipa de obi a ayunim say nkokra ne ade o mutumi nko but at least ye nya o ma ahoden kakra no ho nye nipa no nyina na agogo obi nye nipa no nyina na agogo etie ko me say me ko me car me sisi ankunya be 19 egu me car mu ensuo mu nti o ma ntumi enyina no edi nkunya ko ya o betumi atre nkunya so o ma betumi agina no so betumi agina nti ye nse don hwere first ye say ko e bedi don hwere me nsa bra ye plan no adam say be don hwere me nsa ntumi ma ko Friday so at least ende me bo ma ba so o mutumi don hwere no wọ́n tún bí ẹ̀jìnà ẹ̀bí nsuo kura mi wọ́n kẹ́ mu kura obi a máa mi pẹ́ńsù ní ẹ̀kyẹ́ wọ́n sẹ́ ọmọ sẹ́ nibira ba adi no bẹ̀bi ẹ̀dùrù sí ẹ̀sí àkọ́ ọ̀dí ṣe àkọ́ nti ní ẹ̀sọ́ ọmọ yẹ nti ẹ̀nà yà kó gyina hɔ yà yẹ first wọ́kyerá yàmbọ̀ a ẹ̀bẹ̀ tó aso sẹ́ yẹ ti sàbán so èyí efiri mu a yẹ nsi obi mu.
but ẹ̀nà yẹ sẹ́ kẹnufuri atẹ̀sí fún bẹ̀ ṣíà mu.
ọbẹ̀ kasa ọba akura ní yà pọ́n kọ́ ẹ̀kyerẹ́ wọn sẹ́ na ọ̀twe
but mo kọ́ ẹ̀ náà wọ̀ dan no mu.
Yekwa eti so ho nti ye wo anu na ombe friend say mpenifo mpeso mu hia yekwa ne mpenifo mienu ene ne kasa say nipa ye representatives no for ko ne kasa say minister no wo management meeting nti basuma say wo meeting yen how ne de to enim say yen how eni say ade no yen firi ma da bia no pa e be ba ha no
enchele
nti omo ko ka kire no Saturday na ka be 5 minutes na bo 11 nti akire on say ye ko na yakoka kire ye nkofo na yakofi timbe ka kire enipa na yenya disperses obi a nko about 11 obi en free hanko o munyina call no na me reporters no still interview and obi ka kire say minister o say minister I available into person we share and am share well enipa nyina ko but at least me enipa 4 can
okay
and a call nti e kwai no mse on pese e ba nim ho na reporters na anso etiebi nti e ba nim ba bia e gina ho no e ho na e ba no so be kan ya na kese ye o kan ni se yan yire ho na yinsum na ne wa ya ni eye fa improvement nti from dada na naka for the man and se di eye ya mpase se de na ye esin enkan de na me kwa na me dwi ho na me nti ase ni nti a e de sa nhihye no e bai but e de nyame ase se o mahunu se eno nye nti o masesa no nti o koso ara like appealing or children say yensum na intumi enko enim
na o ka sa chire no
me de ho no po de man kasa na ofre obaba ko ye ma ni members no ba ko no ofre e don so ka say enim say nyina say ye sacrifice but ye sacrifice no be a sacrifice it say the do there and say ye dey ka sa na ma ye ye mu na be be ana me ka say you see o man it say car na o car na akwa kutim o man ye car kutim o ka tim a o ko fen kokra zo me bia
David nya kokra de bia
kokra ne be bia ka
David
amrantia na be from so me bia
ya no kra ko pem na ntene mechanic fo bi na
oh eti ye nim say ese ye boa but ye ni nye sa te bia na wo a wo betumi aboa na ge ko ye kra se a ye hia se ye kobo se be te afi ne ye ne so into a man in Yabba de Rose Yanko Enko first of the botiafi. But in here, see a botiafi, no. As you come, Juma, you a native wisdom. I wo say who said there be one day no a swearing. Young Casacobo, a TFI, or man here TFI and Tia, who actually, because Uncle Cry, they drew baby cry a year cry and sour. Ye, a cockroom. Who drew baby eyes, there be Broma, a chum with free. A bush young man, they bought a year, more you be and sour cream, mobile. That is our native tradition and costume and wisdom.
But what's several on my way for how many years?
Maybe I'm 50, you must say, I buy a human Casamis, I said 1980 as an audit clerk at Ghana Publishing Corporation.
I see.
And I'm about by human America Caribbean, the job by human call law school. Now me practice Kakra, say in just about 10 years.
We are buying a Jumano for how?
It is this
how many years?
41 years. I'm here. We started 7 years, Juman. Lady Canada, now you're fat. You Ghana, Juman, yes, but you're doing your private. But we are buying Juma from 1980 up to time I'm retired. Okay, which year? 2016. Okay. A move by say in Femi and Ansah medical law school. And I'm in law school 2007. And so me practice for 4 years. It is I being young person in Fien song a free 1980 to 2016. A move Fien song and I'm a cool school. I'm a legal practice. I feel
nti the esa we yeboa o man no why you cafe na obetne fie no age wa home
say the abrochire ka abrochire obi abeso call retirement who increase abrochire retirement age akọ France age ato isa so mo pese omo ye adwuma chance na am ma ba retirement obi abeso call retirement Ghana had na slow retirement didn't ya so oba there o bebre o adwuma na bi electricity tuama abai tuama
to peso bo
ha ezo ye den a we be fi enti no ye ni protection bi a waba abrochire they make us we bus but me mo fast bi we di me kaizen we di 60 last year we di 60 ape wakoje pad a we try train mu free we try bus mu free
ye ada
ordinary 60 what is
ordinary
woko e bedru ba bi no ne atototo ne amem electricity kra tariffs they charge you no kakra bi ye best supply o adro nyina free how you need bisa
Kwame Banam na send me message you say 4 more to kill old men and women what in the argument
oh there be I know there yan me say you
yeah
I think I can say yentumi ensum say ye nana say ye wofa say ye hwe no aban na wo so de enye mfam ho ye kan ni say say anhihie we wo de ma enkokra enemrewa wo be pra wo
ono so ka kire mo ne se mo so mo ansomu a say IMF na ye ka musika ni nyina abehwere mo kra
say makasi asi so wonso ni nipa ba nyen kokra na ye ka so wonso ye ka
so which means mo ntiase
ye de ya twam wo sa abre no ya yobi ye mfie hwan
ochina mo beko
ade chi en beko agi se ye tisa aban so ayi efi
no but here's the situation say aban decide say mo anyini mo akwa ato aso 3 days we ashim 3 days no ano
no mo be jai ya me be mayen ahodin enti no mo to say we are going heaven knows where we are going we know we will the road will be hard and tough but we will get there yebeyo
doc ochina be diako
yebeko nyamenti and the Omako.
Doc, I can see you are tired.
I'm tired, but yes, yeah. A human idea in Sierra. Yamina airborne empires over my holding near the Atlas.
Pacho Maese.
In Miami, Ansah.
No, Mese.
Minanum is here a year and 9.
Wow. Anyway, for any Dr. Edwana Nientwi, convener Pensioner Bondholders Forum and Dean Common. So obviously, Ulma Maminja non come go or swatch or Bessia. And I think Mesre or man for more Mubinian Su and Nititru News Su Kakra Watchana. So I'm call a year finance minister.
10 o'clock.
Okay, so in Tibet, you have Jim Sonia Macacra.
Nobody acquired because.
And same quite you be because I am saying so quite be a glucose be a mobile and young then Nenka de be a mwako. Ti your best amount for my man for it to be about Sanya Bonnie. Okay, yo, all right, yo, doc, yeah, that's me live at 100.5. Master, I'm away. Enti mubenya ensuo glucose kakra bibi e be man kokrafo ne nya hoden no because o man so mo begina ho acha ne de ye mo wo mo na wo mo nko sa David Agbanya gas Mampam government they all listen to you so but I'm a very interesting wo eye ye van say we obey yeah papa age me no there yeah papa age and it's and yes the situation why Abayajuma from 1980 or retirement 2016 near Wong
Nigeria free.
I'm
Kwamba Ghana ya mami mu. Kwabena ro ka se mi age mate ana. Unu hina.
Ye kurapoma. Ye nyina ye kurapoma.
1980.
Amaja ni ye kurapoma. Nkrofo beti ada pa.
Wow, 1980 no start here.
Yes, why government works till 2016 and
1980 to 2016.
Yes, to 2016.
Wow.
And Kenofriata so be first cano, pro, first. But now the situation is almost in idea omo betiase.
Enti we mo share say individual bondholders nim.
When we are pensioners,
but say you classify as
individual. On say na no individual bondholders and workers na workers fund omo pray ya yi wo muti free mu. Say enya de be ye wo ha. Aha na aka pensioners and exactly.
Okay.
And na pensioners no so kire say hapa fita we mu pa de enya dia ebeye ye because wuntumi enka nkyere me say wakoboka na ka na akobo ye no me mra me ye eka no ho adwuma I mean enya dia ebeye
me di me sika bob sia am akwa invest
that is the point
this kana akwa invest afi no be ka kire me say
am our first kana ko invest so wakwa di sika no azame na
me dey bro wan ka so kwa kodi the agreement a woni me call ye no
azame na wo kamera
se sika wo gie dia na se sika wo dey to no mo a enka won ka so be ma me hu interest wo ko invest sika na sika ne fa so oba so wa ma me interest ni bi etu ono de wakwa kodi a ye wa wo ka
wakwa di sika no
na ono no wontimi sofa wo sabe wo akohwibira akobo ye ntino ono ni sika enhye wo bra boni bia reckless expenditure etu ono ni sika enhye
Coffee Beans see what they are doing to the old men and women. These guys are just reckless junkies. Okay, so such senses of nobody should go and give them anything. Let them suffer. These people who vote for MPP again, nobody should waste time on them. Kojofi Agba says even the devil listens to the cry of the people. When but me point is say Nana, menya sure sen kokrafo we meet trust even 3 days. And I think second for that argument no. Leave them. Omo be etena wiamu a ombe kofi.
Ba ye trimodin se Kwabena. Wo show obi ti se papa yi from 1980 why ye adwuma akọ pension 2016. Wo show obi aye Ghana adwuma enye 60 years akọ retirement. Na ni sika kakra wo mo abedmefo wo mo pension sika edema wo mo yesen. Na wakọ pension watam be se bia se ebinu kwa 15,000. Ebinu muji 18,000, ebinu muji 12,000, 20,000, and then one monthly scan edema woman. Just say yes, cabe 600, 700, 800 num. Teacher ni, nurse ni, doctors say yan one muji no did the kakra. Enti no sa retirement package na wonyayon, wadi akwa top bond. And no one kakre bebano, 3 months be a kakre bebano, wadi ka at the end of the month the onyano. Wadi ka ho and then Kwabena say ya wa ho de insurance you 60 years e kwa na yade eni nru a woda so oni hospital check up a wokọ say sika kakra na wonya It is a what you be sika kwa invest for years. Agreement wo hono na ne na kwa bo akohwibra. Na se sika na kwa akohya na aka kire ne se minni bia me de ma wo ye da ye minni bia. Eye tirim odin. Kwabena eye nipa bonesem. Eye adwem bone. Because na Ghana wa crisis mu 2020 ayeba 2021 mu ne wa crisis na president Akufo-Addo ekoto ne salary 120%. Eto ba me dem 100%. Ne wa sa crisis na mu e na otwa salary man yire e na afa second lady.
There see yere ho
but na onim omo na omo run state ni coffers omo na omo run state na first no omo nim situation na ye wo mu Kwabena because hwe na no yi honorable Samuel Kudjetu Ablakwa 2022 just last year
yeah
expenditure from the presidency was say one expenditure no e 250 eniema wo mo spend wo hono no president Akufo-Addo regional tours okoi e cost Ghana sika bebre car ties ne batteries 2022 from January to January to September it cost Ghana 15 million Ghana cedis. So it is a one kasa reckless expenditure me personally na bo bacho na say na obi ti sasa papa we say wo ka che ne say mini bi ebi ni hono mo enu nti no de meya na meya eye tirimode ye nipa bonesem
but na me no ma dwene ne say enke betimi a omo fa omo ni nkyere eye Flagstaff aso so omo age mate ni Akufo-Addo
na de onim de ekoso Kwabena onim de was de ties ne batteries
we dey bobo ne kakra
how na me bobo so from 2022 January to September expenditure document from the presidency between January to September 2022 ma me bobo so nya etie bi na hwe was president operational enhancement expenditure and then say whatever that animal is because we
president enhancement
operational enhancement expenditure and no cost you 59.4 million Ghana cedis where you reported that parliament well 59 enhancement president operational enhancement expenditure and cost Ghana 59.4 million Ghana cedis
no
Apostle no much na set me cost then na akokrawa we say obi asum Ghana
you are unim ne picture bi si the way nyakwa mu omo ato na no who for picture bi si omo kan lipstick kafra omo kan lipstick wo de udru pomberia na wo go straight wo say woni abugina ayi yes abu like right abugina po abugina po so mato ne lipstick ni bi na no
abugina na frame de ne de card enya asem ketua hwe fuel bills nko 9 months January to September our presidency ko cost ye 51.1 million Ghana cedis 51.1 million Ghana cedis president Akufo-Addo to awokoye to last year awokoye e cost Ghana 16.9 million Ghana cedis president Akufo-Addo tours awokoye regional tours e cost ye 16.9 million Ghana cedis ties car ties na minim se presidency one no sa brand new tier rubber cars no 2022 January to September car ties in kwa presidency omo toye enko ye 15 million Ghana cedis 15 million Ghana cedis
ties no mo de aba ehihye etwibia na joana no asa bi se omo de aba ehihye manajo no omo twibia na se omo ye ne de ana
o see payment for new vehicles are present or no kind of reata ebeka che Ghana say because of situation you woman no we importing new vehicles in say payment for new vehicles so new vehicles in cost to Ghana 6.5 million Ghana cedis where you there what parliament to cabinet retreat last cabinet retreat 4.8 million Ghana cedis cabinet retreat a cost to suffering Ghanaian taxpayer 4.8 million.
And I say omokoye there because
nim de omokoye
because
say last year so dem call retreat bi anaja wo mo ke kan ma bom ama economy
na they are now they are omokote brown envelopes nana
the peduase so mo ko peduase
yeah
cabinet na makakoshia and esa fe na mo ko han peduase
lodge
ya bind there baby on bed that dey on bedidi enti omo 4 million almost spending it. Almost girlfriends no they call
4.8 million Ghana cedis from January to September. And a friend is new vehicles also cost you 6.5 million Ghana cedis. Payment for networking and ICT equipment cost you 6.6 million Ghana cedis. Payment for networking and ICT equipment cost to taxpayer 6.6 million Ghana cedis. Network in the ICT every 2022 no was say additional expenditure additional expenditure on office equipment, furniture and fittings cost, and so 7 million Ghana cedis. Or say additional expenditure on office equipment, furniture, fittings, 7 million Ghana cedis. And after so telecommunications and internet services from January to September, 20 million Ghana cedis. Apart from networking ICT equipment, you know, and no baby, telecommunications and internet services. 20 million Ghana cedis. Where me copy from, me pick from Honorable Samokuje to Ablakwa. Or say the Parliament say ye. And a Vice President Alaji Baumia, one also no office and so no. Was say agent and other emergencies activities.
Yeah, no idea. Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, Vice President Alaji Baumia appears determined not to be left out. You know, but from January to September.
Okay, so agent and emergency.
Agent and other emergencies activities. And so, Vice President office, and so no, and also 4 million Ghana cedis, 4,050,000. Just say 4 million Ghana cedis.
Yeah, no, young father say beer. So come them in 10. And I be a Samira Benum could be fast. And I say beer.
And I saw Timmy Charia.
And I say,
emergency because Obubusheno.
Okay, so Obushi and Temba.
Into a emergency.
So you're not here within 8 months, right?
Within from January to September.
Yeah.
September, not just October, November, December, so 10 months. It's almost the office one month. Almost expenditure items here 250. A mu 10 amabu bossu.
250 million Ghana cedis.
Debbie. As a expenditure items, telecommunication, items, no. A baku 250. A mu 10 na mabobo bosono. Sa 10 item expenditure summary no. El costo Ghana 191,522,000 Ghana cedis.
And ultimate na Jubilee House with this escaway nyina. Then one kokra omani am Solomon or say am pedwa send me was Kwabena for solidarity's sake. I think the youth should support the pensioners by joining them to picket every morning. You know, see another issue. Say Ghana mebunu be sorry.
Say o papa kan ho, o ma me kan ho sorry. Because e bia okran we nursing training, teacher training, we doctor we wutifie. Sa pension sika kakra be ne ne de bo akon mama nya bidi. Enti ye nyan kokrafo ne mre wafo nko say wo mu na piri wo mu sika because say sika na hwe abusua. Maybe papa ye pension a wato bond. Oyare diabetes enura boso me be so no wato no. Enya asem ketewa. So when say what chiri nipa wo say the additional bed na baba betu ye so wo baba ye moda course because they say better say
moda so moda
wo baba ye moda sa so ho enti Kwabena asem no ho so niema baku a budget sky the mom say 2022 was 3 billion 3 billion Ghana cedis. And a former president, your mama said, "Woman, only term is 700 million Ghana cedis."
Yeah.
But I jump into 3 billion Ghana cedis. Share unnecessary expenditure across presidency. 250 at a 10 per across to Ghana. 191 million Ghana cedis. It is a when you know chance a Kwabena be catch can offer be catch Ghana for say economy na sent to be a sacrifice here. I dream bonini etrimodin. Wo hwe sanko krofo we na wo bo wo matrimodin sa adai.
Ebia omo akumkum omo no hweni kwayo mbefa so kwesisi so the president has been living luxurious lifestyle, and if they don't have money you can't take it from anybody. Okay, so now me ableto says Bobie, let me move on. Kuda says watching you live from Dambai. All right, thank you so much. Wafake say John Mahama so increasing the salary in Tikayano Kahon. But the point is who took the decision? Article
71.
No, but the point is who took the decision? Somebody took the decision. Say John Mama mo be a demo mesra say to market to him. And a John Mama uncle bo be a pronse first can be a coming home. One I hope what dear we are, and I hope person wouldn't come home. So okay, my minion in our from family, Yerene Samira Emfra. Samira yam some no chroma, was mean to Samira ka. As I said, Ada ya, Ojudan impulse was a Bruni. That was a Brunia. Anya akwa was make a idiot Ganesa Benz, no akwa be Cocoto Benz. Be at Tom Benz. One go to be, one go to your friends, a Datsun. Now them crofo dim commands make a mitiaso a Cosa Benz. I say when I got to Benz. Okay,
Ochi Benz in me. Ochi Benz in me.
Okay, so a quick comments here. Solomon Samped says, come now. Okay, so I've touched on that one. Fuzi Raman says, let them suffer. They are the same people who bashed JDM. You see, posterity is charging them as JDM promised them. I'm in Sweden enjoying your show. Thank you so much, Fuzi Rahman. We have Kofi Obeng. These guys are really wicked. They need to be caned. Henry says, so we have a V8, a driver, and a chair just wasting our taxpayers' money. Yes, of course, you have a driver with a V8. Na akumya kese esim eja esiso kwa to Kwasi Binti says both Ken Foforiata know very well that he is sick. Both Ken and Akufo-Addo knows that they are sick and definitely they are going to die soon. Tino Mudi Bonesa no. Emmanuel Suzuki says enhancement means coconut oil. Okay, all right. So these are some of the issues, but quick one, Lawyer Kwebu, I raise a year about 18 failed promises. Then we'll come and deal with a year the issues of the day. Mensa Thompson, Bernard Muna, Sadiq, Baba Sadiq, about joining. George says, Nanama, good afternoon. I love your style. Thank you so much. George Fosuewo, a year UK. Alexander Daku says this government is really fucking up. Yes, of course. Now, before that, Mame and Wishi Enya Mugabe Mansi Yako, Mugabe Papa out of form.
Oh, when you Moga, na mention your Bushina.
And now, last week, na Omo Eko Pen crab. Brown said, Omo Muslims. So within 3 days, no, but Omo de you know, yeah, no, no, can a year, no, can Adua. Yeah, almost a year or more. A friend say, I do no ash Yamia 19th March. 19th March.
And I say 40 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 19th March. And almost ashe. Inti Yamayina Yenya Mugabe Yako. Muntaka atu yibi atu fatu page a quick one. Amenya Wajuma. Say Boss Yoda. Mr. Mama Mohonya na me fanya Juma.
Honorable Muntaka.
Yeah. Sorry. And also Urarex Suma. Say boy na about maybe by you.
So say wife di.
And na your birthday. And Arise Ghana, Accra FM, CMG, Ayonkufo War, Ghana Fene nyina, dom nyina e mani trinkwa. Na Tommy and then what say? Akwanyini. Papa. Oh, your grandfather.
Oh, sir.
Hey.
Oh, any was showing who sweet.
To say me.
Boy. Yeah, or to say offer Bobie.
Was it on Quasar? Oh, no, Quasar.
But they also Quasar, ma. Tuntum Yankopon was so.
You're not a maho. You are that. So, these are some of the issues. And today, on your community, I call a SIPON. Who can share the sports stadium now? But before that, we are dealing with the 18 promises now. Lawyer Pebu Saturday on a year Joy News File. And you've got to Pebu. You go take a quick one. You go take a lawyer Martin. 18 promises.
Mention some of 4, try me and see. 5, I'm not corrupt and will never be corrupt. Now lie. 6, I can develop Ghana without borrowing money from anywhere. The money is here. 7, I will transform Ghana in 18 months. 8,
I'm too old to steal your money. I have my own money. Sana President Kwabena Metias. It's Castle. And so come there, try me and see.
All right, so yanko yade obi a wote bia na yade muntaka atray bi on Facebook ato ye page and Muntaka Mubarak Ochon be 1 hour ago. And let me read through quickly. I'll say to all our supporters within and without. I had a lengthy meeting with my big brother, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, on Saturday evening over the parliamentary reshuffle. I want to first of all thank him for the words of advice and encouragement to me as a younger brother. His Excellency intervention has brought an end to all the brouhaha associated with the reshuffle. We are for the interest of our party, NDC. We need to move on as a party and channel all our energies towards 2024 elections. I thank all our chiefs, queen mothers, imams, supporters for your prayers and solidarity. I pray for all Allah's guidance in all our affairs. Long live NDC, long live Ghana, and that is Honorable Muntaka Mubarak. Say ama.
Sir, the any share kwanso on Bekasa. Because almost kasa etwa bibia tiawa.
Yeah.
Omunya kasa ya.
Mote trotto mu various markets amoti areas. We be Facebook ubetimi dey atre omanfo, but I'm back to you Muntaka. It seems Kwabena.
Oh, the any Kwabena na dia na nka ombeye. Yase kasa dem abato.
Yeah.
We yase kasa dem abato. And I na former President John Dramani Mahama say because we share all of a sudden quiet fast or reshuffle ne ba no e ha dwen if obeka say efiri wo mumu. One man dan dwen da because Ghana for de ye ni so no de ehu nyina da ne say Harry no Idris ni Muntaka o ma ye adwuma.
Yeah, but there were discussions, but with the statement, but there were discussions. So let's.
Oh yeah,
I think we should move on.
The any quite unsaid who interviews are they are now political analysts for the any pair can say Henry Drew Suni Muntaka and Mamekasa because the Omo Bebe can HBBA. And we are all supporting now. We are why you minority chief at as our NPP by 6 years in and we're minority chief. Do obey yatra Ghana for and there are so many political parties, National Democratic Congress. No, why am we be yeah. And sometimes in a way, anyway,
so let's go back. And you go to lawyer Martin Pebu on the 18 promises. And
let me mention.
Sending me a message.
Said, which today he has not lived up to, and he thinks we've forgotten. He needs a quick reminder that this thing has to stop. 1, I shall protect the public purse. I see he's been defeated. 2, I'm too old to steal your money. I have my money already. Well, now he's become very rich as a result of coming to office. 3, Yetisikasu, so I come DN. 4, try me and see. 5, I'm not corrupt and will never be corrupt. Now lie. 6, I can develop Ghana without borrowing money from anywhere. The money is here. 7, I will transform Ghana in 18 months. 8, I will not operate a family and friends government. Now lie. 9, I will fight corruption with the Anas principle. Is that true? 10, I will make the Kole Lagoon and Odo River a tourist site. 11, I will build a factory in every district. 12, I will give each constituency 1 million every year. 13, I will arrest the dollar. The dollar has arrested him. 14, the hikes in fuel prices will be a thing of the past. 16, I will make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. 16, I will build 111 hospitals, 17, 350 secondary schools, and then 18, the Almighty will never go to the IMF for a bailout.
Thank you.
Sam, give me 30 seconds. 11 hospitals, 17, 350 secondary schools, and then 18, the Almighty will never go to the IMF for a bailout.
Thank you.
Sam, give me 30 seconds.
Okay, so ama say issue na omudidi pebu atemwa, but on say enkomo ye di with the pensioners ni be sisa issue we so with the issue of
scan ho or minus say or crisis.
But all bano or bosso ba ko hia pa ne say or say he's too old to steal. But Akufo-Addo is stealing. Akufo-Addo is stealing. I mean, some more videos. Okay, so I shall protect the public purse. Just check that one for me. I shall protect, and this public purse no obobo. So okoto a year tie.
State coffers are not spoiled for the party that wins an election, but resources for the country's social and economic development. I shall protect the public purse by insisting on value for money in all transactions. Public service is just that, service and not an avenue for making money. Money is to be made in the private sector, not the public, and measures will be put in place to ensure this. We must create wealth and restore happiness to our nation. We can only do this when we have an educated and skilled population that is capable of competing in the global economy. We must expand our horizons and embrace science and technology as critical tools for our development. We believe that the business of government is to govern. Ours
and everybody is telling us, oh no, what he is going to do is a public service mun abe pesika. And obi anu wo sika eche Akufo-Addo no e Jubilee House. Any Jubilee House for boys no. You in this uncle I keep on saying I know them. Omi Angola minimum Ujiahe, Samia Okunum, those little boys.
Yeah, who one more gun has an
we saw them.
Yeah.
John Kuma ba as Empire FM pyramids or ba or Sechele. John Kuma, and you see, and me problem ne how wa time President Mills, the late Mills appointed and Crawford to say honorable Kujetwa Blackwa Ofosu Kwachinom or Mane Boamanum, the kind of insults and then Kwala Omunya Jumada and then Kwala Omunya Jumada. I would look at the Bujina for a Bujina was and power about Banana more Basa Ngoye. Omuno Biano bet Nature a Juma. No, why I said me, Minami ya Juma we, Nami Jisei, Naya Triame tax for her. None of them. Including Lord Cominum Crom Yampen for nothing. Omunya Asamoah Boateng.
NDC for Quana show. No, did you NDC for table?
We the end here. You know, Goka.
Some may kind of say because no one yet do no one did not say baby by. And I'm a Dr. Steve no Puno. I want an extra baby.
Yeah.
Oh, Kwabena say yeah. Adam can red was he say. And there are some who are more entered the Bobie and almost Kwabena. Yeah, and Bamunya, Bamusikabi. Yeah, the chair I ain't said. Woman, na me a friend say Aquawe, a friend say, Aqua, Nana B. Say no okoto wache wa hiu okoto wache na ohwe ni nika ne chele ne wo basa bi sata ya wa hello fm na oba ho oba wa ne nase propras 193 na eba o say there yo. So these are boys that we saw them. What they say, and all of a sudden I'm telling you, even Kwame despite nkura Samia Okunumsika omanya o nibi. Oh yeah.
Oh Kwame despite no nibi. Yeah 124, and you see, oh the painful thing is that Obia ya Benjamin 30 years. Look at this. Papa we are not obetna. Sa papa we Ujiahin was catching no.
Bebre.
Sa papa we Samia Ogu was catching no. Sa papa we your friend say sa wo makola we Samia Ogu kra dey say am say bia ya no. Dabi omo wo akola fin bi wo Jubilee House wo. Oh, e fin ba ko bi no ye me wa sempa no ba ho. Na ne hu fin bi. Ya ne wa ye say twom. Ene Sa nipa we John Kuma ukwohwe ayi John Kuma eda a wasiesi adweso a any stores awajeje wo edwom ho afrim crofon and some papa we asum o mind 30 years sika ekura wo mo no papa went me boss to be anwa da bi most wo kire mo
ye chemu 10 kura wonya baako ye chemu 10 kura wonya baako
sika ekura nko so this is Akufo-Addo telling us he's coming to protect the public purse and public sector emu na baba be pesika aslesu and just the usu ba abam no be see ne
security
oba abam no be see ne se abedios le usu asi ne se ama ne kasa no afi ne se no e de a kire last time me TV
sabra oba multimedia ne security ne browse
not in a salam down on a bound about Pyramid House interview of Brian Boabin with Pakrona by Brian Boabin. Your friend say, a boy, na a Mugabe Shani.
Somebody Munimu,
Nico Tequatos. I can't remember their name.
Boys, no one to move.
Nico Tequatos said, no, about Trajo, you will basically over not.
Sir, I
saw it. I know over not. I saw that in the fruit tests. No, these are boys, we know them. John Boadunum,
Uncle John.
Oh, these are boys, we know them. John Boadu. That's a John Boadu and yet Kobifia Banka Bobie anyway. These are boys, we know them. We are yet more, I mean, from day one. So when you tell me, say, Uber protected public purse, and now a civil servant, yeah, 30 years, on to me and funny and compare Sanko Dawi. Public servant, Juma. 40 years. On to me for no compare and Kwala no mugu a Flagstaff House. Now, you're telling me, say, he doesn't make sense.
I public servant in a paper na ya. Why are you 30 years? No, Obi or say will be protected public purse. Or to me, Kohai, luxurious private jet. Now an hour, yet £20,000. Kwabra papa ne betina hanomo over 30 years no ne pension package dey me do 20,000 1 hour president obi na wono no position na wono hye Ghana for bo say me ba be protect your money ye sika ye dwetire no 1 hour was spend ye wo aeroplane mu no private jet mu no £20,000 no papa no 30 years no the whole 30 years when you 20,000 pounds less than that it is a who can who to opposition now will come and be protective public purse. Then at the end of the day, they're gonna phone we yana say. But Kwabra adia yana yeme yana say. Say President Akufo-Addo wouldn't more money state no when I will run state in coffers affairs. Now we need more money jina be so mine baby a jaya kwa crisis mo Kwabena. Now after 2020 expenses are reckless expenses and we year election no 2021 na wugu so. But high private jet to you 1 hour £20,000. Now a cost to a mine 330 million Ghana cedis. Obi
send me a message on your Facebook page was say there is one guy at Aija Tech. Bobie, all of a sudden, the guy has become a billionaire. Yes. Now they have become billionaires. All of a sudden.
Me koi Paraku Estate. Na me ti baby sa me too many fie kese me ko ho no na me say 6 months. Na me say na there you say we had 3 months ni see. Boy no wo Flagstaff House. Paraku Estate animu wa me say ko hwe building kese me ya me ti wana me say there be dan way me too many me say dan we so wait 3 months yes just say contractor na ni mason fo gina so anopawia ne anajo wo mu gina so sa 3 months and wo mu di see dan ko hwe dan yes so your boy say we yes security so your watchman so your den e wo Flagstaff House so
this guy called Akufo-Addo just decided to come and lie okay on fa so when you made intro no manya sika kra no made intro and I don't care the here say me ni mabusuafo anya sika na yeko and the question is how can somebody like a friend say Kenufuriata recently just or the party dying and a kobobosi didi and I make a crofo say it was never true that issue Akufo-Addo there no mo sika dada no na come to one chain will be na come at the one chain will be but that's it so I shall protect the public purse. I'm too old to steal, which is a lie. Yet sika come there me ba momo try me no hwe ye be ye no kwa try me no momo try me knowing for sure you can't do anything, knowing for sure say
Abasa baba sega na mai the Baba Sragana Mai Ghana Bedre 2008. I can't say I'm coming through here. 2012 the Muamunim the Abaya. I think I am Premier Ansah, ne pre-budget, Miss Ramo, Ghana for Mama me cry, no from my work day, and by the time the tea. No from my work day, and by the time the tea. Islamu Mudua, it is 5 no. Nanso, MP for the one in the war fight. The Islamu, Boko, Mudu Demoa, that they back open here. Bonjour, baby, or snow no war.
Mastermind or whatever. So why someone's building pains you? If you like, go and build your own. Madam, if you don't have anything, say keep quiet. But masterminder, sir, Ubeko we are a bicycle diacosi a dying ama will marble them chrono dying there. Nobody will do it. At least make me a chance my age more despite or my age more multimedia. I can show my age more class media. I can show you. These are boys, we know them, riff-raffs who have nothing. Absolutely nothing. Some of them, they come to my show and you need to give them lorry fare those days. From Pyramid House to Kokomlemle. We know them. We know them. These are boys, we know them. So the point is, when you tell me, say, Obi Afan Kolawa, Bem, now the Oba, Omevia, Abain Esika. Then today you have, all of a sudden, you have these guys, being millionaires, and you don't want us to talk about it. So these are some of the issues. Nana, I'm sorry, the last one, we try to Nyakutia one for opinions about. Pensioners. Because a more ya swung. And a dear Baku crime is a hadrian is a winning. Once President Kufado started kai, no haircut, no haircut. Nasabrano, honorable case out to force a starter said there's going to be a haircut. Yes, a Tomo Shade you sue President. Sandy first address Yanokrano, President Kaya, we can't say there be a to force and kind of. But the Asia woman say. One more Bemuno, one can send him the Omo Babayano. Who be a bedroom Samabia, second of Foriata, and a Sabushia for the same minister Secrano. One name say haircut, beba, bondholders, say individual bond on Babacan. I say, Comodica, you musica. Oh, me? Yes. Oh, my. Oh, my, the Kay, Obi catch them and say, Omo inform me, Omo boys know a wallflower style, Jubilee House, and other places, no. Into Madame Mimisiano was painters. Or so what done for me walk can offer no more or back catcher and Samasa. Unimila Nico Sika. Na Asamoba. And I was it or did the agro? No, for say, because President Abeka said, ye are to force in bois or shedda. Because someone said they were not to force in the panic withdrawal, Beba, and go for the boomba quack musica. And to make clear, but no one knew ye pass the Ebe Babis. The guy was born a liar. Oma quack you musica, ama and ne, shepa pay your bet na hey. And in our fire CBT. Yeah, young go to quiet. This person telling a man for say, almost son and piano. In last year, 2021. I go for the super quiet for Kubusano, a quiet once. Tomopa 20 last 2024.
Would they share voting pattern or more to a badudo pa de manana? Almost a man country, yes, almost a man country president. So, my quiet no say president, Nyama Womwa. There's a bay omuya pa na 2024 on Betwa Banetia NPP.
No problem, no problem.
You do it.
I'm saying people make those kind of threats. Me, they don't frighten me.
Okay.
It's somebody votes for you, somebody supports you. It's because they want you to do things for them. So I understand that. There's no need for people to go to my say. I don't want to answer. Of course, I may. And about to decide is over to my NDC. I will answer. I don't know myself. Will be a song and in Timsu, baby. And they are the important thing is that we have a responsibility. I understand the responsibility. And we will deal with it.
Fantastic. Right. Now, the last time I was Bahano, now you're candidate. And as
president.
As president.
That's right.
Now, Mami B, Opewa sempa no send a question way. Also ba her as candidate no. Oka say.
Why didn't the area? The can fan home.
So he just decided to lie to people. Now omewia sika or na busu afo mewia sika.
Why didn't the area? Yeah, because President Kufuor
like he's a criminal.
Mr. President Kufuor Oba no me say no afa Ghana for ho adwen say omo ma ne opposition chair. Edwapade bebre collateral tonton bebre nto obepeni sika no akọ ne baby. Obi ma fia Ghana for ama natna because obi odi 40 years as so person odi president. Na mama natna o side do baby a abusua edwapade wodi bi melis wodi bi si collateral de waton entiba na wo ba no. All right,
Kojoto. All right, thank you so much. Just 10 minutes. What is your opinion? Just tell me your opinion. What do you think? 18 failed promises of Akufo-Addo, and the major ones, any above also, I shall protect the public purse. I'm too old to steal. Yatisikaso, come there, try me. I'll fight corruption with the announced principles. And lawyer Pegu Abubo Bebre Kahon, Baye Edum Wachini Hano, Ajigon. So 0302208090 for Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. Hello.
Hello. Bobie.
Yo. But I say, what you say? What you say?
Me better girlfriend and number who say Kumase for Bobie. They almost Bobie name for the
but your friends of free, your opinion, Kajatu.
Unya Bema Eben Kwabena.
Okay, Eben Yango.
Senya na Americano. Yaman Penanado no. Senya Ghana for Yaman Ebre will be president at age 40. Yaman na I've got bread at 70 something, 82 many man. It's no boy and chrono. Indeed, next time, I say, yes, will be bad. You're very careful, 32 many man. Because 18 failed promises. Now, what's your partner, lawyer, Bobie, beside part, and the pioneer. Now, only me shocking me. The man stood on a podium and said, I will never be corrupt. Into the question, maybe Ghana for another Ankata. In Tanka, or a Kronfua. Ghana baby saying, I brought me dinner simply to catch the Ghana 40 or Nekron for. And then send the chronoble. Or no Fred or Mahama saw you incompetent, and no friend another incompetent, none the rap who don't net. And next, I'm an MPP for naming now academic because of another year president. Now, Sachidan Kwama, Dr. Richard, lecturer, on the DM found what that can send it. It's Ghana for next time, so people not on board chrono. Yes, that's it.
All right, Miss Midas, I'm having another caller on the line. Quick one, hello.
Kwabena.
Aja.
Pastor Medindi Abema.
Hey, Pomponso. Droba Kofi no. Mpacha yanko.
Mina mamena se na yema yura resume so trinkwa.
Amen.
Na yemia Mugabe so yem sheledi. Bobie mesia mubaya de du okro we mama yi. Evidence based there when ije ho. Obakaya owura jo mama eko. Kwabra we decide ya de ehyiwura emankuafo eno by eba no. Na box no 90 Ghana cedis. Kwabra na unu say unguta 740 cedis awunya.
Oh yeah, Jaisa.
Kwabra me come mama
we decide box no. SM say.
Wo mu mako 12.
Na say
90 Ghana cedis.
That was in 2016.
Yes.
And I say
unkuta 740 ya wa drobi a friend is some for seed. Kwabra say me wa farm ana me boa.
Yeah, minimum.
Unkuta sasika na unya. Kwabra wa bi the information center. A national radio so near Kase, and then you will be a wound keke. Kwabra will be Ansah actually, Miss Rel, what did they do actually? Minimum of a said to Mano. Now what more dear? I buy a DD a queer for. Hey, yow.
Semu.
What dear, Miss Ray, side to money pair, and I'm there too anywhere. Minimum of a day quantity, and what that's the Shasiaba. Ansah will be a program. Kwabra the men for Yadwaya.
Mate. All right, me that's my make of another caller on the line. Hello. Okay, me losing. Hello. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Pacha first of free.
But very brightness as a free
aboso kan me pacha aboso kan for me enko.
There one penny for the ayabuso kan for there. I am mobile for party said they on one Kasai cast 2016. Say Ghana for I am mobile do yet is castle and so common there. So I want penny for the everything Ghana for you won't be a Ghana scanafa.
Mami Musa, aboso kan ye tell me, aboso kan ye.
What will you? Oba aboso kan cemetery. Baby, grab any dummy, any span elbow. Make me video be cried at you.
Okay. And the baby I would team omo board damage is here. Mami no man for honing kasa. Mami no man kasa. Hello. Minia mo aboso kan.
I also kan.
Sesi amo ya den.
That's too. And then I do a how.
Okay, Momo side bay of aboso kan amo.
You last a honomo.
In the Mohona business then yet anasa ya aboso kan nyina.
I was going to go to the home yet. Uko market to and uko praise be honomo method is honomo.
But sir mujiji sika komana na ye campaign. I see. Eja.
Share. Obenya time ahon anka menemu meko inside market no. Na mama only the pa be se 10 kura tata. Omo throw the year aboso kan asiaye. Omo say omo ogu aboso kan eduma no.
Anyway.
Oju kura wusia say because okushe aban we a 2016 aboso kan for enya jide wo ni mu pa e tam skadi man e dey campaign. Oba abremu a opese ogu aboso kan for eduma no. Ide me dwun am ntia se.
Okay. Okay, Mate, me das Mame Kofa another caller on the line. A quick one, live on a 100.5. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pacho. You're first of referring.
Pacho, I'm
Dina Madina, Pacho Yanko.
At the year, Emma, it's never of 2016. You wait to say, what can be
Auntie Dana, Okaza ati yine marry friends anything.
Na do some of kind. And you one happy. Yes, it's got to come there. Your bread do. And then one a bread first. So a bread did that there no can. Yet it's move first no can get we. And I certainly no pensioners can almost see. I had then. That pensioners can anything cockrapon on whom you're mobana. Would if cock or king party? Where do you want to? Now I be now say waboka them. Kinky na kodi and answer fish. Into my who say kinky and I'm on my boca. And you're almost cooking run. Persistent you are almost in breath.
Oh, Gajensis and brother Monvajam how far?
That's right.
Marty and Dana, thank you so much. Live on our crowd 100.5 Citizen Show Monday afternoon. Hello. Pacha first of referee.
Kuma Pantan.
Kuma or Pantan. All right, Kuma, let's go.
Bobie.
Eja.
Manika crown me now 55 years. 55 years. Me on anamu. Me count na fremura bedu up to na mini battery mi na up to na yendi yewu. Se kasa Ghana edia mamu fansa agro debia mi ti wuni na napogo se na debia upogamu anadwo kura mi na manadwo mi ti bi ya domo ye enu. Ye better kesi nipa okrumo because ye predodo ye breaking
oya di adwuma
me mesi ni uba ko tie mi 19 panta copy ayi kuma ne we na people abati back na we ni amu junwo na mu na nka kesi pam prempe na mi twom na mi hu na mi suwa me ebe din ti mu wa ye sremu eye din maye Take a say, yes, as monkey, you know, yet I can say the ampa. Now, if I tell West, no one, you, a mobile, a mobile, Muya be my memoir, Yamikamu.
Some more. Hello? Good afternoon, madam. Paja, your present preferring.
Yes, Santo.
Paja, say?
Joyce, Santo.
Oh, Joyce or Santo, all right. Auntie Joyce, and go.
Paja, unim. Alanka, no bano, or Bapa, and before none of Pawana.
Oh, no,
Ena, Masamba couldn't say, Uko Major school dancing school, ma, by school now. Yes, here we forgot to go for the Abraham school, my man. Pacha Mumbai.
I want you for Major.
School dancing, I buy school or Major school dancing, and telephone was school dancing. Almost here, I will forget to go for the my man from Bas.
The man on cancer with him.
Pacha, you ban this way,
oh, okay.
Pacha, why?
Jina, so me produce a new Becassa offer. Why? I know because I offer. All right, so for call a I think say na ye movie call ye discussion segment. So live on Accra 100.5 a citizen show. Okay, so floral tissue for so been cancer Ghana for nyina say no enkaneno na obika handkerchief na ekrao na we crowd na fi yenu anade people onim yenu anade people onsa yenu anade yese dabi floral tissue ya I am say no aba edwaso no omo eye floral disposable handkerchiefs ya womo de aba afiem enyumanyumam ababa okọ adwuma agibi ahye wo bag mu abrante ebi ehye eye wallet mu kama uduru abonten ebi a wodon sa ka aduane bi kakra no yibi na de apepa onsa disposable ntina enso su kakra wom na afi enso no obi kan sanitizer kakra ewom to de pound sa na germs bia won sa ho a na ekuno kama wo bowa na wa yibi de apepa wa no afi su krampo no de anika ewom ni se wa pia bonten no akoyusu eye obi washroom bi wo pe bibi e de wipe won sa enti bomodien floral tissues na omde floral disposable handkerchiefs aba ye kama pa afenye no nkwa omde eye facial tissue aba en omde eye toilet roll so aba en omde multi-purpose towels so aba napkins kura so etato umpewe na apede eye floral tissues ye bo mu din a mesrew wo a wotie bibia wo dom me pemasem bia no efri na ekro no wo ya wo so pe floral tissues se napkin na wo kope a wo so pe floral tissues se towels na wo kota wo pe floral tissues se toilet roll wo pe floral tissues ba problem wo hu ni se be yakumase fo no ye be ka akoto bi ho na problem no wo no tinkomu change di ni kakra ma ya enkeye ko se be ka flo no ene ra no se ya hwe ye ni anya stadia e dia sambaba mensa se ya hwe ye da ya anya stadia ti se no enka omu danim kakra maye ya umpe dimbi ebi apepa wonsa bibi me se no de floral tissue ni de ni agbefo ngwa na beto. Anyway, so that's it. Over there from 0243 033 033. Me boss will be 0243 033 033. Floral tissues now. So Aquaji a big quick credit investment microcredit limited. Some country will say, and that Ghana for here loans. A dom bebre mu here loans. Namo dia ye nyuman kakranka. Insiwunu ya boko. The yan se ukra a Ghana card na dia ba. Or say a face and yet kofa collateral bia bre bia ni. We know yes bia say ya na so and that. Ni nyina say fa ho hye eye quick credit investment microcredit limited dwumadie no mu na wan bu say yes ampa wo fie upe bodwu adwuma ye upe bibi ede won sayo ni nyina ye sika ya also from 0596920833 on sabeka give us a scientific herbal center ɛsɛ ɔmo ɛyɛ givers GC capsules aba givers GC mixture power capsules cold capsules herbal mixture enie ebuso chum ta givers GC capsules ya wɔde aba no wɔsi esiesie nipadua untumi nyonso bɛma ɔba odwonso anemu ya mesrew na unum bi afei bɛma kodwo tɔ givers power capsules numbi cold capsules near constipation I was say a mama agina system na unum bi titru system no kama givers herbal mixture na no so omo onsa akabi mama nya adwuma we emra ye ba afa ni ebedim komo Bernard Mona in the house yenua Mensa Thompson is here and afa so Baba Sadek will join us here ye bedili and somebody bebre. The question is looking at your current situation say on mine and yama yedi esikaye anamo yedi esiketu ene press conference arise Ghana ye na ohwe de kemfuriata ayo man na afi de taxes na de pem ye panyan yeso kakra no eda hokra no yesi ye afiri mu nsam ye kwaba ye ba ye bedi wonkomo e was citizen show so I'll be back.
Hey, say the Mako Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. No, we hope you make say and Nunti no mania award. A your word bestie. Obian Transit Emma Dumpia, the Cassa, and as a boy, the Ankaran to them.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. A son you want to say near Crow Etuno, near Ankan Awananum, Obana Bemo Power, and Yarwan Kaye. Nancy Mamika say, and the Spana called Moekayano. Greenfield at Arumanti and was our selection and also APM. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our ultra modern laboratory and a diagnostic machine, sir. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our Nunga Dogon, Esther Junction, last stop. Frewa 0243 983 906 and 0261 651 898. Greenfield. God is our healer. Greenfield. You now stop. I believe. Love is beautiful. Ojoye Dankasa. Red and white night. Ansah perfume. A feeling kikawa bieni ho. Class Media Group and a Snit Guest House. I see a Val's Day dear. Ye be card of wabum. Na mami misawo. One day when you fish yenum. Anasa niya brosa. And ye trebibika krafa when no dofo. Anasa ya audio. Ebraye. Nache nientia. Accra FM. Model love couple. I was here similar say one the best couple of the night. 50 February Busme, need their tosso and crown. Echo sit to Barco. Ye baby a WhatsApp line up to mo. Send ye bemu a quenya say. What do voice note and also writer beba. Now walk up quenya. Your love story began. And kukuria si amu femu. And the quenya amu faswa. What don't you one day? Na a one for 170 beka comba. Womunya quenya say. One benya free couple voucher. Ya one media dinner. I was Snit Guest House. February Bosme. Nida Tosu Dunai. I want February. I am Val's Day no. Sana Jona. I want for our bedding kunim. I will how well you know your partner seriously so. Ebenya special treat to say. One Bekwada Cozy Hotel. And if one you know, you via. Yes, some mama spa treatment. Any hampesa. Yedi jo mokwai. Nasa woba. Mawa fadie. Enye fita. Anase koko. Ye chrewajo. I was Snit Guest House. Any police headquarters division anymore. Na sa Jumedie way Snit Guest House. Any Devs Maison Debute. And a Alpha Hoka. Number betimi a WhatsApp ye 05000 26135 0500 02 6135. What was so Jumedie mo? Asaba biomo.
Give us play capsules. A memory. My mum be a benemua. Can name to you and I'm come aboard. Say dear. The two SR company. Give us play capsules. Give it to me, baby. Give us core capsules as well. And money memen na koko yadie. Sisi yadie. A mama nya yem timotete woman. Yedruno no. Manum be a mama deme home. Give us core capsules. Mrs. Moye ding. Give us core capsules. I give it to you, baby. You give it to me. Yeah. Hey. Give us no. A man need jab bebusiamu papa. Na bema ka give us P capsules. And ni give us core capsules bomunum dia. Na any jenia hodeno. Waburo. Give us P capsules. And men what if you do what you do cronkwan ever. Give us core capsules. A pain for a batter one more menu for an inquadawin if you do me nunca home. A wardrobe to be a motofonco. Give us Herbal Center. Teshi Mobile. And a Teshi Adriami. Phone numbers 0543 222 470 and 050-68-511-35.
MD Ashusha Sa Ejedi Enkrato Imu Adia to Muse Eye. Asempe Biaba. Upesika akostati ejumabi. Ohia bosia atre odwadie mu. Oye government ana private worker ohia sika de ate hot bi so. Oye busumi ejuma ohia scan tempa bi so. Any na quick credit be ma obosia mo achia ne kakra. Eye collateral free loan na susu savings account opening deposit BRNim. De hia ne se oye Ghana ni na wo Ghana card. Se wanye adwuma afi we mu de kodia na wo na wo pe o excuse BRNim. For quick credit it was 0302 200 390 and 0596 920-833. Number for Biara Frewa and quick credit. Shannon so say quick credit and man loan our internet so. Inti Shanna Obiara and Dadao. Bank of Ghana and Momu Jadi Mukwain na Kaise and she shared down.
Quick credit. Lending made simple.
Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berma be meti gara furukube puntimpuna si sokode. No wakachira katabing say you what you can say. Kwabena keja guma mni yanko.
Okay, so live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show Monday afternoon Yasaya Abba. Na ena nkomono yenyina ye nimbabi a nkomono ejina. Ene Arise Ghana ensentwefo hia mudie. Yekohia na ye bon komo ene nsem ni bebre tudwa ni titru ekwaye a kenoforiata ede oman we enam so na ye no brofo ena ye no twi enti ye besre mpacho bo listo wa de na amame ye wi anu abo Ansah Thompson ye no so
sika Akufo-Addo ne bawomia ban enye free amanone ene Ghana fo sika e wo futuo mu a omo ede omonsa ebo mu Auditor General aye ho impense mu na ode krata apiedwam se sika no ebi afa nipa binom ensase sika ohwehwe mu ni nyina no eye about 21 billion cedis. Baby sika ni free buy no COVID brand mu no eye miaye makomakonkon Arise na AC mu ginaye akan pense Auditor General report no baby miensa bi wo ho a wanye hwehwemu wo ho Korea Fosika, Germany Fosika, any government of Ghana, Sikabia, a what your consolidated account Momko ye, and Omonia Humpins, Mutino, ye can't sudia say a year audit now or ye no, a year fasten fa, the night bakusin say VMT, Akabi, a year trains or the Bababi Pilgrim, and ye did kind. Dear Tosunu Sika. Obu won konta no se okeka ni nyina sie ni a eye cedi bese aduonu baako opepepe aduonu baako 21 billion ho asem ne yeka na so wo hwe sika afa ni pansase a ebro 20 billion eye opepepe aduonu aje se wo hwe a sika President Akufo-Addo ene na pamfo ede some Ghana for wo COVID brain mu no kra endu opepepe baako eye 1 billion na se ohwe nyame anim edi yarefo sika edien ena yenka nkire wo abra COVID ba ye no ye nyina ye be kaye Abanka say ono aduane ama nipa a omote Greater Kumasi, Greater Accra, any part of Kaswa. Sa sika no kuntabu. Yenyina
any may COVID-19 scar, but then also fall in line with the Anana Major Eboboso Nina Sicano Riana or more area. Na any uncle, yesai ede a watcher Ansah Metwaso. You got here, Mensa Thompson.
Rice Ghana is where is the gold they took to go and exchange for the oil if they paid cash? Bank of Ghana and PMMC told you they were buying gold from the small scale miners and the local gold traders. And as part of the arrangement, they were going to substitute, exchange the gold for oil. They took gold, they got the gold from depositors. They told us that the Bank of Ghana has been able to buy a certain amount of gold, which they were going to exchange for oil. Now we are being told they didn't pay for the oil with gold, but they paid cash. So our question is, where is our gold that they took abroad? They should come and tell us. Again, with the gold for oil agreement, where is the agreement for the gold for oil? Where is the agreement? As Ghanaians, we are entitled to see the agreement the government of Ghana have signed with the foreign entity to exchange gold for oil. Where is the agreement? Again, Article 1815 is very clear that any transaction between a Ghanaian government of Ghana and a foreign company should go to Parliament for approval. This gold for oil thing did not go to Parliament for approval because as we speak, even the Committee of Mines and Energy in Parliament do not have access to the agreement between government of Ghana and this foreign entity. So Article 1815 have been breached, and that is why we are sending a word of caution to the Minister for Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, the people at NPA, the people at BOST, and all the people who are leading this arrangement, that this agreement has not received parliamentary approval, and so anything they do in the name of the people of Ghana is null and void. And that in future, any of them or all of them will be subject to criminal prosecution. For water and electricity went up cumulatively by 35%. Inflation is now over 54%. And the Bank of Ghana has now increased the policy rate to about 28%, taking the cost of borrowing at the commercial rate to an unprecedented over 40%. These fundamentals can only spell doom for the average Ghanaian, who do not know how to survive around such turbulent economic crisis. In all, this government still remains not only adamant, reckless, insensitive, and corrupt, as Transparency International has once again scored us very low in the corruption perception indices. The cataclysmic economy we find ourselves in today could have been avoided with a sound finance minister. Evidently, our economy is headed into no particular direction. To be charitable, or better still, our economy is on life support at the intensive care unit at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Arise, save Ghana now. Arise, save Ghana now.
The low level that Ghana's economy has declined is a sole creation of President Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and Ken Ofori-Atta. The more they continue to stay in power, the more doom it spells for our dear nation, and the more murkier things become for the ordinary Ghanaian. In the light of this, we are left with no option than to declare Ken Ofori-Atta a persona non grata
Arise. Save Ghana.
We call on the media and the public to withdraw all official courtesies accorded him as finance minister. We do not recognize Ken Ofori-Atta as our finance minister of the Republic of Ghana again.
Arise. Save Ghana now. Arise. Save Ghana now.
I repeat, we do not recognize Ken Ofori-Atta as our finance minister again. We declare him persona non grata.
Arise. Save Ghana now. Arise. Save Ghana now.
And we call on the public, the media, the diplomatic community, international monetary agencies working in Ghana, and all meaning Ghanaians to withdraw every courtesies accorded to Ken Ofori-Atta as finance minister. He is not our finance minister anymore. Arise.
Save Ghana now.
It is time for Ghanaians to rise against this government. As this government have shown that it has an appetite for big talk but no action. It is time to rise against the nepotistic government. It is time to rise against the government whose stock in trade is to make Ghanaians worse off. It is time to rise against the government that have made you and I, our lives, so miserable.
Arise. Save Ghana now. Arise. Save Ghana now.
In the subsequent days, we shall announce plans for our next line of action on what we intend to do to ensure that Ken Ofori-Atta do not continue to wreck this economy with more and more hardship. Arise.
Save Ghana now.
Arise.
Save Ghana now.
Arise.
Save Ghana now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Arise.
Ghana now.
Arise.
Save Ghana now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming.
All right, so that's it. Live on Accra 100.5. Mensa Thompson will say we are hoping Bernard Mona will join us in the studio. Then Baba Sateka also will join us in the studio. But Mensa, why Ken Ofori-Atta me ba late until you be, but me ba no now be frame say or to see a press conference. But say Ken Ofori-Atta ya declare a persona non grata, but ya no answer sashi ya na ya titi enum ni akoka ya asem, but that is the reality.
Kwabena me dasi ma me ncha wetie for bio na miss minda Arise Ghana for nyina me ncha obi especially yene na yetimi ba press conference no na yebe kire ye nebre se say ewo yemu to ensure say bebia o mine do ne beje o mine asi ho. Kwabena so bi catch say and say you need to me ye dey be declare Ken Ofori-Atta persona non grata e bia na sa nipa no na sebe yembra kunu 1990.
But like why ye but obi
say ye wie Kwabena intina make an ye beba ho. Number 1, Article 1 Clause 2 of the 1990 Constitution also saying all powers springs from the sovereign will of the people. Meboa.
Yeah.
You and I. Yen to me kakran na constitution no akabom na agene de amampanyin. Including omampanyi's power to appoint and disappoint emanates from the people. Meboa.
Yeah.
Say yes sadia. Na people ne say yen penny pano no omampanyin si mean yina. Then you go to the source of the power. Because the power for the president to remove Ken Ofori-Atta comes from the people. And a presidency exercises that power. No. If the president will not exercise that power, then we'll bypass the plug and plug it directly to the source of the power.
But with the people, no just use force.
Come now, Inter say, Afe enne ye declare Ken Ofori-Atta persona non grata. Ya catching we are Mansanya. In fact, the press conference was being monitored by Al Jazeera, by France 24, and BBC. Ye declare actually we are some man saying you say yen Ghana for say yen Ken Ofori-Atta to move as your finance minister. Into any decision, any agreement, will be on any Libya deal with him at their own risk. Now,
but the president has a final say.
Not in this matter. Not in this matter. Kwabena say enne ukoto say ubi bokro no abonten baby a Unye police ne babet match ni Pandanako police station.
Yeah.
So we need to do you have power to arrest?
Okay,
citizens arrest.
Yeah.
And it will be the bonena bonino. It's not in the favor of Timemu 4 and I say Adiano ever had Timemu 4 and now bro for me I said a distraction to public peace. What I say?
Yeah.
At the bonene or however community now you can effect arrest even though you don't have the power to arrest. Even though we as citizens do not have a direct power to either appoint Kenoforiata or disappoint him, but we have a right to say we do not recognize him as our finance minister. We have every constitutional right to do so, at least from the provisions of the 1992 Constitution. So we said we do not recognize him. Yembu Kenoforiata bill as a finance minister. Into debt restructuring na or yeno krano yentum enuti na yakache individual bond holders say momon ko sign because the guy doing the thing we don't recognize him as a finance minister. Into what require agreement to be you do so at your own risk. You do so at your own risk. Kwabena the second step is that you be chere krata e dey akwama all the international monetary agencies say adwuma Ghana ha ne abi ochire nyina say
yeah.
Yen Ghana for and Yababa Ghana for Edu Yababa Moho, Yababeji as many signatories as you want.
Yeah.
Near the comma a Riasia Mansan, you say we don't accept Kenofrata, we don't recognize him as our finance minister anymore. He has been declared persona non grata by Ghanaians. That is what we are going to do. If we are, and Chamberlain Kenofrata posters or also be. Your fans will be a more banking, and I will be a man who we are the Wakodi Boni Beno Johnny. Now, bank no issue statement say so and so person is no longer an employee of a company ABCD. Anybody who deals with him at your own risk, me boy.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, but yes, sir. Posters need be near the Abu Bomontin. So, Kenoforiata. Anybody we do not recognize Kenoforiata as the finance minister. Anybody who deals with him at your own risk. And we are very, very serious about this. Because the GD said, I want to about on my Ghana Sunyana, a move by 70% if we can offer at any President Kufuado.
Okay, so let's start with the COVID issue. Baby, your man Liso Shashi free and let's start with the COVID issue.
COVID issue no. And China, I am a force. You call me a force, you could I am a force. As a Canadian, Yabama Mubia, Yadikama will be during COVID, Yamamu 2 billion be. Okay, I am only come my first 1 billion.
1 billion.
And I'm saying another 1 billion.
Yeah.
And a World Bank for my Iska, about 600 and something million.
Yeah.
And on back as a World Bank for my 100 million.
Yeah.
Ansah na Isika Free Heritage Fund. Ansah na other donor agencies, European Union for my Isika Nibi. Other donor agencies, almost at COVID-19 fund. EJJ Ghana for corporate Ghana do musika nyina kotumu. Kwabena what happened they say sika abainu nya nyina on COVID nyina na 21.8 billion. Okay kamboma. Kwabena out of 21.8 billion no, Auditor General say omu demo 11.7 billion per nom de COVID. Kwabena
je onu onim
no. Kwabena ye fa Auditor General's report na ye nya botere ko mu e pension mu no. Ye hu se adwuma no Auditor General ye no kwa wanye adwuma ni ye.
11 mpokura na onim no.
Wanye adwuma ni ye.
De aka no de ye ma ho de onim no.
De onim no. Eno kwa Auditor General anye adwuma ni ye. Adenti na ye kasa. Nye Auditor General ye ni say he just matched proposed expenditure with actual expenditure. Into offer expenditure item we on propose. They can say better medical equipments, maybe worth 500,000 Ghana cedis. Did we buy it? Oh, there's a line item under the expenditure bit, yeah. But sir, all go beyond a kind of forensic audit, because what the World Bank was looking for was not just matching expenditure, proposed expenditure with actual expenditure. The World Bank wanted a forensic audit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we say we know Emma Ghana for we spend about 20 million, ɛna no aduane ma Ghana for 3 weeks me boa okay what to buy saying what to mo saying what to asichire saying what to kosua saying what to akokɔ saying anwa saying enchine magi saying what to hwan ho what to wutia cash and awuku free ye saying that is what forensic audit and no auditor general na anye until he just went match proposed expenditure with actual expenditure.
Emmanuel Suzuki said the auditor general must be audited.
Yes, because Edwano Yen was very shoddy job. Kwabena enti wofa na se wotena se na wo ye mako. Na te se sika ka so mudi o COVID and do 1 billion.
Sika nka so
omu yu ye e de ko COVID and do 1 billion.
Na de omo di ni de.
And omo di mu 20.8 billion aka no. Omo nya 21.8 billion. Out of 21 billion no sika nka so omo de ko COVID and do 1 billion. Kwabena nyese ma ha meni na eka. Ofa auditor general report now trail now.
Yeah.
Because financial irregularities in Kwa about 6.7 billion. Out of the 11.7 no. Financial irregularities in Kwa about 6.7 billion. Irregularities in Kwa. What you no free 11.6 billion I cap 5 billion pe.
Yeah.
5 billion also. Here sika omedi omentua, sika omedi koja adakulu. Asase omedi eno omachedi asase ne da obi an for honkan. A friend is saying COVID vaccines or mokuti 120 million wa emu only 38 million per na ba aka 81 billion aka eno ye hu echira kwan what you say sika wo medical to over a friend is saying I think 12 million Ghana cedis o mokuti I say o medical enterprise insurance for frontline workers mako to sika ma frontline workers your friend is saying premium your friend is saying insurance prospectus amanye and as a certificate that say mabe insurance or your friends enterprise are man Kwabena auditor general so busa mo say munchire nipa bako a mo ye nipa bako a mo ye front line your friend is saying insurance ne be man no so mo ntimi nchire Kwabena makoye insurance for frontline workers Kwabena ewo enterprise insurance boko kru Ghana sika over 12 million Ghana is their common enterprise insurance say mo the year insurance package for frontline workers mo call ye no Kwabena mu unim obi anim say wokoto any insurance product prospectus na edibe ma no wo be sign na ma copy and na ye contract between the company and na that be say unya asem na wo claims a wo de be kwa kire say me ne ma top product we insurance product we e mo ho aban kwa akoye insurance 12 million for frontline workers o si wo ni ade e kire say so contract no insurance company na amane bi okay ewie mawie mo metire enkofo frontline workers a wo mo so mo ye insurance mo so nipa ba kokra mo ntimi nkire ba kokra mo ntimi nkire ba ko say oh asemesi oye adwuma Rich Hospital ye insurance bi man o mo ntimi nkire ba ko mpo
but they call enterprise
sikana ko enterprise mo tua amoma chedi what you say sa okay what it is no ma we nyina aboma na je say wo yi krono no free ho a sika nka se o mo de ko COVID anka se enu 1 billion
ye chopo
o mo disika nyina o mo disika nyina Kwabena o ma chesika nyina edi o ma chesika nyina edi out of the 21.8 billion no emu 20 billion edi o ma che edi kwa
yeah
o ma che edi Kwabena
yeah
enti wo hwe sorry wo hwe de asia
yeah
na ho akohia se o se magana fo hu se ye ntimi ebio Kwabena baby ade na bru
but menua eye clear say sika no baby adru no so mbebu nkonta say de joma amakan no just after we free abamu
exactly
that is the only way
enu ti na ye magana fo but o se magana fo hu no mote ase because one who China bin Ghana for beka say oh ebia COVID na because wo mo na de COVID na bo ho atrenchie say COVID na ma o man bi bia say COVID mom e na mo manyo mo ho say pe COVID na Kwabena na nya asema anka wo anka say wonu akodwo opon minister for information say what ministry wo anka wo na what join FM wa no den e kire expenditure yi wona ka wo pense mu Wo say COVID aba minister for information. What tena land cruiser mu? Akotena office. Aye adwuma. Inti yentua risk allowance amount. 12 million Ghana citizens yako to my insurance company in frontline worker and benefit from it. They don't know. They can't show. So who say abai no say who nim say abai no a sinitrase and the 90
no, but Tommy, a deliberate attempt to steal the country.
It is deliberate.
Because the NIC from the or whatever. Then it seems like they don't know what they are doing.
No, they know what they are doing. Abana kasa de butu, almost say akronfo. Akronfo abaya say butu. Because there is absolutely no explanation for the recklessness in the Auditor General's report. No explanation. Kwabena, how do you say Ghana Yosika? Wajapade? Central medical stores, medical equipments, any PPEs are allocated for medical facilities across the country. Medical facilities, though, medical equipments worth over hundreds of millions of cedis.
Yeah.
Equipments not every central medical store. Not just allocated for hospitals. Oh, Ridge Hospital, Monkomano PP, Monkomano ABR scanners. We say Monkomano ventilators. Do those say Monkomano protective equipment. And I say Omata no motion. Any gloves no. Do those say Momano no smart. Momo sanitizer. Do those say Obia Matiche. Monfa we call Ridge Hospital. Monfa we call University of Ghana Medical Center. Monfa we call her. Monfa we call her. Not ya call. What is General call central medical stores or ya distribute equipment? Or could do baby house equipment on equipment? None of the hospitals received one. Enti equipment no nam koma aircon ayira.
Efriguye.
You see, medical equipment to Kwabena. So when scanner machines, scanners, yes. Etumi etu ayira under President Kufuado. Any central medical store, hospitals they allocate equipment more so in New York. A cromfo by pa say Kwabena. What him say? This is just thieves. Hospital be what Medina. Hospital now.
The last time now,
yes,
I can't do a count.
Hospital now, and yet a buying hospital, a private hospital. Hospital now, ya fa COVID-19 patient to be anko to ho.
Then so
a year then ye timi allocated medical equipment, you know, worth over $38,000 at the Massa Hospital. A hospital. What was the interest? Say support now with my private hospitals are. Said that is not the only private hospital.
But Yanunkwana Auditor General
Onunkwana. Say what people say you allocating medical equipment jama omo. Kwabena say nya brone be ya COVID yare aba sebi Ebola kraba ye obi ko je asase for isolation center for 25 years. 25 years, Kwabena. 25 good years.
Obese yare na tina mo so.
Na chese.
Oye na jose obo apa de na setu. E betra mo so ache papa.
Na chese aban na dwene nyina na se COVID e ba no emra tina na nku Ghana. Na dwene nyina no. Nti wakoje isolation center. Awa adakulu. Isolation center no so baby wakoje no. Voter
Obasisa omo
enti o so enti mo ya rembe kan bia na so am de mo kwa adakulu.
Avede montemore omo. Montemore omo.
Ana na wan koja asase bo chebi afa akoya isolation center.
Debi. Ye chebi ni wu anipa wu.
Obi kroba dakulu. Akoja asase for 25 years. Not just all the ayare for nko na obeso makogo for 25 good years. Eno wotua ho ka. E ka otua sika ne wie ya Kwabena. Nipa betim se kra wan fa na ensi ho. Obi asase nso wan fa ye hwe. Kwabena abro eni beyi. Sebi yemfa oman sika enye ne saa. Se Ghana ye wan kasa papa japade na odi agya wa Kwabena anka won nye sika no basa.
No ne papa japade onim do ye no. Agoi. Oro ba o. Ono ne papa japade okra wo ye ne se school no se wo papa japade a we wo tie okra be serew.
Kwabena Enya no kwa o. Your payment system be a friend gift mix. Gift mix no, a system a buying edia to hose. Sa buying pese wo trace ke bia. Yemfa sa payment, yemfa sika no fa sa system nim. Sa system no for checks and balance. So the gift me system be capture payment no. Etimi trace se sika way, okay, I go through the right processes. A electronic version of payment vouchers.
Yeah.
Buy a year to for proper checks and balance. And the sika bia abefa give me system bia no, a buy can account for it. Kwabena COVID in kwa sika ye di ye outside the give me system yentimi account for. Say sika puduo a buy twa ye. Ye bodi chirewa me pese me bo sika ni nyina din sika dodo a buy no etua ye outside the give me system and not just say sika no oni hu krata bia. Oni wa dance die bia
amfa
system nim aban system we tua ka no we na mfem not just say what it means ni say that money cannot be accounted for. That money
which means there a firm ni ekuma bi
kakra bi
and they are carrying
outside the system because so the first system ni mo the system can track okay what they call him. Why na utu esika no man no because the system no a requirement to be a standard requirement to be a system no it provided for any payment to be effected for payment of goods and services by government or whoever no there are standard requirements you must be able to meet what I say before the payment can be effected because of money in krata ni ho normal they can be able to meet those requirements no won ni keke na no mo yenti no wo ma ntini afa system ni because the first system ne be chi omo.
I see.
And omo the far outside the system and omo tuaye you Kwabena what you say
okay yeah
afei Kwabena the public financial management regulations okay LI 2378 LI 2378 SA any advance payment of a covered entity for goods and service and civil work shall be a written public contract and the amount shall not be more than 15% of the total price to be paid under the contract. It's talking about mobilization fee and now say upfront payment of contract. See amount contracts supply goods and services. The public financial management regulation SA the LI 2378 say before I will to say sikano the sika will to money pan as mobilization as advance fee should not be more than 15% of the total contract. Okay. Wemo man for contract no close sikano about 50% the man for no ye adwan no man ye sikano so for no di.
Felix entry Saba sending me a message. Was it at the crew isolation center no? Omo attend na one district one factory. La. Omo dey one district one factory. Felix MG Saba they sending me here. So virtually omo discount. So they omo in 25 years. Omo discount.
Oh, discount omo di. We say one district one factory. We over connect say omo ton adena mom omo. Say one district one factory. E be no government factories. Private factories. Into omo ton omo no dey factory. You see, Kwabena Ansah could chase about $607,000.
Okay, my main tell you away from Ketwebi Emra. Dr. Jehu Apia, member of NDC's COVID-19 team. Now Ghana for Bekaya, COVID-19 buy no NDC at a COVID team na almost bar pro. Dr. Jehu Apia, I so Doc Akwaba.
Yo, but that was Munia, not then.
Nyamia Dumboko na where?
Massimo here.
Yeah, the Nyamia say, I think she so Doc.
Oh, I feel combat it. You will say for Yinara.
Also, Doc, I mean, Auditor General's report on COVID-19, what to be? Mutimno, more discuss a yenyema apie COVID funds numu abba. Na more discuss ya to say yante some more cash.
you discuss it, but you who reporting. Why am I there? Or send the NDC party in Ansah? Why a whole press conference? It's a party because I whole press conference. No, I'm going to speak on our own behalf until the American recovery team. The Mancasa, you know, the American
Emudia ina yes shocking amount.
More shocking. You know, you pay down washing one on war COVID. Nah, it is but when you car, just to that shit. Near that, you are 2 years. I don't want to watch what the queen and check beyond able to save one. Message say report your questions are not sure the abandoned civilians in Ansah. Because, you know, if we come to the NCC, what would they were there? Over there were man of the crow, what share there? The man to show we or by Nigeria. They were starved of money. They were not giving money. The son is to keep a what people was a man in what? Son is to keep a what should be was a man MP. Son is to keep a what should be was a man information minister. One of years was up on one once I could be. Look at the front line health staff. If you want to one. Now, the most of it, how would Jebo go on now? What is it? Ain't no matter. Sana, I mean, yeah, no way as an answer. The kind of you do. So, Yaki Chaba, one now, one factor. Ministry of your information. What do they need money for? What? Look at the front line. Look at the doctors and the nurses. I want their big one. That's how the Scaba. What do you mean? Yes, well, yeah, now, people will show you what kind of fee, you know, whatever. That actually what kind of the president and obviously your friend, obviously, or money review because they are wicked. And that's what I can say. Because I think I report now, you know, they through 81 million as a fund dollars. You want the EBB simple why never. So for me, can kind of that area Papa. Like this difficult situation because we have wicked people. They told us that Ghana was doing better than most countries in the world. That's what they told us. They told us the overseas 88 hospitals are over-equipped one to cater for the COVID cases. Why are the hospitals? There were hospitals one year, something like incubators. We couldn't provide them. I'm the figure of how I was there next year. Uncle, if I can come out, that's a share. Most say, yeah, bread will probably the home. You know, NASA was it. The time you do that, what the trade is the banner bank, which is banner for trade. So for me, it is something that, and this,
now, yeah, okay, to us.
Malawi president, some who the corruption I for COVID look at leadership. Look at what he said. We have not heard anything from our president. He was always talking about fellow Ghanaians. This is the time we talk. Call people to book those who spend their money in such a way. Oh, for me, the COVID report in Ghana is there already before. But we are not angry enough to discuss.
But Mamimbusa from Momo's side.
Side, because we have not.
Yes, but sir, first, Manamu ya Juma as a team. Mebusa logistics amonsa ekaye, and they said because Momo opposition, so obviously Mubenya limited resources. Even with that, no, say na musi a distribute in fireman one for nyebi.
You mean the logistics for the government?
No, on say mutim no edru baby anamos mo bua kakra with PPEs ne sanya maniama which I know some opposition muntimi ngada bebre. You know kakra bi anameboa.
Oh yeah, no correct.
Na me busa say how effective kakra bi no kura munya no. How effective na na ye?
Uncle, John Hammer, a lot of donations all the chief a lot of regions. Every day, Mr. Kokolebu, you call Rich Hospital, you call Tennessee Hospital, you call other place, you check logistics, you know, maybe to the PP, this is the little that he got, and that's why he distributed. He also shared food, personally went from home to give food. It's the Kakana, no, be able to win to me. But why am I real? What the side is going to be? It's your own year, share hospital, no here more. Should there, what's in the time that hospital was Tema, another whatever, which part of the country it is. What equipped for one night, or whether we receive COVID cases up to now, not even one case was there. Who owns that hospital? What's the hospital before Tema? Another part of this country. I think they equipped it with all the logistics to take care of hospital COVID cases. That hospital never saw one.
I see.
And so who owns that hospital? You see, Uncle, if you report now, I think the Ghana will be the Wupapa. And one thing is that Ghanaians are discussing it. I see that nothing happened. A lot happened. Somebody needs to, be punished for this, prosecuted for this. And I met the NCCE boss. She was lamenting no money to do, public campaign and all that. Nothing. And you gave money to people who didn't need that money. You gave money to MPs. You gave money to Minister of Information. For what? But anyway, that is Ghana for you. These are the people who are ruling us. For me, I can kind of report them. Just one practically in Ara. Every time I read it, I cry. I cry within. So what is happening? What happened? Oh, this is a country. Anyway, and bring the muscle. People will call, and they will be called to answer. The minister of finance was our best friend. Somebody like that.
Ajimamenu.
Yes, Ansah was the best friend. They would what's the name about what the son was in a professional name. But why don't you prosecute him? Look at what they did for the footing fasting. You said the put to be the man of Saudi, Papa B. Me and I can't for that. What is happening to you?
Anyway.
And now we are trying to get money from the IMF. Aren't we? Are we for real?
Okay.
These are my views. These are not
okay. Yes, I agree. Doctor. Yeah. All right, Doctor. We are that's Bobie. Okay. All right. Okay. So, back to the studio. Tommy. Now the situation is with this COVID issue, it's obvious. Ekufo-Addo will be prosecuted. Obia.
That's it. What can't be no much case can.
Enti.
Nipa no can't be no much case can. Kwabena, haven't you heard the tape from that Upper West or Upper East? One of the MCEOs, the Urefi.
Yeah.
Tape about Bontain.
Yes.
Sagnarigu.
Yeah.
MC Meboa.
Yeah.
How they share the COVID money to their parliamentary candidates, to their DCEs, to their party people. How they were distributing 10,000 Ghana cedis to their party people ahead of the 2020 elections.
Okay.
What happened? It's a very, serious issue.
Yeah.
Some of the issues Nibu Kwabena are SFM. For example, say Ministry of Health assign contract, say, top PPEs from another company. Emrana say procurement, public procurement authority, PPE, koji approval. What could PPE amount approval say contracted adieno at a price of 4 million Ghana cedis. Buyer now the pen a bit price now PPE the amount now with the 800,000 Ghana cedis 38 billion account
or the pen and
the pen
that is criminal.
You see,
that is criminal.
What went on? It was a total looting exercise. What happened with the COVID money was a total looting exercise. It was a war. Actively, you have never taught in cranium. No more dinners. That is how.
Then we mentioned the DD domestic that exchange. That was another issue we mentioned at the press conference. So on
the debt exchange program. Kwabena ye catch Ghana for say exchange. Say obi ye debt exchanger. Exchange say mami bibi. Na wajibibi
every more.
Inti e na buy no epe. A buy ne say opese Ghana for because wa broker na eka emu no mine nti no. or per se, yes, sacrifice bibi kakra, Emma or no abino. Na, what it to take on so. And I say, okay, say, what sacrifice it, yes, savings, dear. Once to abino, and then I will sacrifice it, was a mensa pine. Men sacrifice it, me cry dear, Africa na me belt and me be mukese. Budget allocation, se ka medical jubilee house code dino. Ma multiply the times 2, afi me de ko. Ma say nyesi kan bi kure twabe di kosi cathedral. Me nya bi e de ye nyamrasem hwe expenditure na maja kon boso at the office of the presidency. Me nya sika bi di sebi nsem hunu. But mo Ghana for sebi mo fa mo pensions mo nimu fifiri am sign mo moja mo bibia mo sacrifice e no na me fa nye debt exchange program no se be ya IMF for be hu se me nim nyansa omo ma me program Kwabena, that is what we are saying. Say Ghanaians should reject it and should reject it outrightly, because before you must give to get. If you are buying, you are unwilling to sacrifice her, then you have no business asking Ghanaians to sacrifice their life savings or their pensions or their investment. That is not going to happen. Come here, talk to you. There are more who say debt exchange program no one more extended deadline 100 times. They will never get a program. They will never get it. The program will not be successful.
Presidency by March.
Why not? You see, the next IMF board meeting that will approve programs for countries is happening somewhere in April, end of Q1. Until March,
was it by the end of March? So which means
at a Kufat on one can sign program number
but say January, February, March, April.
IMF for now on say IMF meeting.
Yes, but or don't see Omono or Marcasa. And they are looking at the close of March. They will be done.
The board IMF board meeting now or more approving program countries. No, they are meeting somewhere at the beginning of April. And how are you getting a program in March? After April, the next IMF board meeting will be Q2, end of Q2, somewhere June. And how are you getting the program? You see, so if they don't take their time and extend the negotiations to people, they will be in big trouble. Kwabena, the final bit on the debt exchange program, they say, you best Ghana for a moment faster debt exchange program here echoes in Niagara. Sebi, ebia wono, ebia amount for treasury bill, you want to be anti debt exchange program, ebia account. Sebi, ebia for bond, dear my wo one fast can koto bond nebi. Into the echoes no ebi nkan wo sebi ebi a wo na man for fixed deposit ni investment one ye bi da into sebi ebi a na ekoso nkofo form no ebi nkan wo ebi a wo dwen say wo ho son wonya utredidim ye pese ye Ghana 40 years ni say sa debt exchange program we wo mu wie ye hwe omo no omo ye wie a obia no a wo fa ne tredidim.
Yeah, no, so Facebook, so can the NDC prosecute these people?
Yes, they can be prosecuted.
They can, but the person is talking about the political will. That is what he's talking about.
When we get there, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Say, but the point I'm making, they say, the next point, so debt exchange program, the next part, amount for more deposit, because the debt exchange program is going to affect the liquidity of the banks. So say Bank of Ghana as part of the arrangement of the banks the agreement on banks sign. Say they are going to reduce the capital adequacy ratio for the banks. Capital adequacy ratio and share how liquid or how the banks are able to meet their current liabilities. That is depositors demands and call-ons. What's here? The Basel II Accord, Basel I, Basel II Accord have set a certain international standard for banks. Our banks must have that level of capital adequacy to be able to be recognized as a viable bank. Bank of Ghana say what better capital adequacy ratio so for the banks. What it means, they say the banks are going to operate at minimum capital adequacy, and that they may not be able to meet their daily call-ups or call-ons by depositors. What it means, they say when we program where and conform we cut the bank so a home betre woman. Because we better check because we bank investment mo deposit am de ko to nyina and no de come buying for this bond. A buying say we finding nyina actually or take it bond nyina no issue new papers am banks which the banks cannot raise. So what it means, they said now you call on your deposit and you won't get it. And that is the level what we are getting to. The next target are your depositors. A buy a deposit. No.
What call Adibia Koto? And I said, okay, so Obi Ajuma.
Yeah.
You're trying to cover bank.
Yes.
Some depositors, no.
Of course.
Not those who go and just deposit money there.
We see the bank.
Exactly.
We see the bank. A deposit, me boy.
Yeah.
Okay. A buy no sikan banks, they operate a certain rules. Bank of Ghana is setting up what we call a certain rate Emma banks, and they say sika obabeji hubiano take maybe at 10% or 15% and keep it in your reserves. Then you can give the remaining 80% or 90% as loans. The banks do not keep money. If a bank keep money, they will lose because the bank's job is to turn over the money, make profit to be able to cover their overhead costs. What you see?
Yeah.
And banks, they don't keep money. So when you go and keep your deposit in the bank, what the bank does is that they take the money and go and invest. And they invest in fixed income securities and other assets, sovereign assets like a bank, government of Ghana bonds. And to deposits may be brave or banks not time their quarter investment or buy or. And as I say, banks won't ya. Yenti say what check now call bank na. Wokwa or no deposit no their quarter way. Enti e bia sa da no say deposit bi for franfa ne sika meto ho
no yi no dia ma
sika na ma wo enyi se sika na ma wa that means who sika na da ho no munya ma wo enti e be kakra wo be twere check wo be ko bank unya because the banks are going to affect it. And Bank of Ghana and Kasani agreement to many banks not sign say they are going to reduce the capital adequacy ratio for the banks.
Really?
Yes. And for any bank, the Basel Accord is very clear on what level of capital adequacy banks will operate. The moment you begin to operate below the capital adequacy ratio set by Basel 1 and Basel 2, you are in big trouble. And that is where the next thing. Bobie and say they will empower. It is an interest says that debt exchange program no and the economy of us air time moi fata say economy no mon country say one mra debt exchange program and your first time Ghana sorry if be so we are na baby countries baby go and take their blueprint. Ghana ministers and full play how people have done certain things. And conform Magana mission how we've done our local government structure and what have you. No more implement it. Other than the debt exchange program, countries on my successful. Young far or more roadmap from the mistakes they made so that we can avoid the mistakes they made so we can learn from the good things that led to the success of their debt, restructuring. Now with the Uber, you come and lump everybody and say, hey, 2022 memo 5%, next one memo 0, next one memo 10%. Sebi. I do new trim. That is not how we do a debt exchange program or a debt restructuring. A debt restructuring is a very tedious negotiative exercise. Kwabena, wouldn't him say, "Sa bonds will no my yen krano." Kwabena, me want them to for my bond. Kwabena, in debt restructuring, bonds that are maturing in 6 months are not the same as bonds that are maturing in 1 year. They are not the same as bonds maturing in 5 years. And they are not the same as bonds maturing in 10 years. Into Kwabena say, "Ukuta o bond." Now a bond don't be mature in 6 months' time. When me and a bond ever mature in 5 years' time, we are not in the same class of bondholders. So you segregate the bondholders into into the years of maturity. Into more bond mature in the next 6 months. Okay, you'll be in class A. Okay, because mono, the liability is very, very contingent. Within the next 6 months, a buyer have to be able to pay up. Into what we need to do, they say mono, you have a special package. So, modiano, you best spread your mamo. A buy better all your money for you within the next 2 years. Kabana, nipa no better here. But akokura wedi 70 years. What can say? Ne bond ebe mature in the next 6 months. Or the bama in 10 years. I wouldn't even answer. Sebe wo cancer de akokura no. Adwene bi a new trim. So you don't lump all the bondholders together. And this thing, it has been done by several countries. You take the bondholders, the people who have bond that are maturing in the next 1 year or 2 years, then you lump all of them together as another class of bondholders. Then you treat them separately. Then you take the bonds maturing in the next 5 years, you treat them separately. Then the bonds maturing in 10 years, you treat them separately. The bonds maturing in 30 years.
But can operator claim say Afina person go back to the drawing board, how best they can visit, which I think is too late.
It's too late because when they started this debt restructuring, I heard from my contacts from the European Central Bank told me, say this is what we're going to do, a debt restructuring, and that they gave me a lot of the modalities on how these things were done. And when they started announcing, say 2021 will be 5%, you know, my guys called me on like, these guys, are they crazy? That is because a debt restructuring, Kwabena, and this kind of tampo you were technical experts. They are specialized people. Account to get debt restructuring.
Now say few for no mun kwani nim nyansa.
What is
nyansa ni bia ni MPP.
Share all the class of bond and can negotiations can front out baby. Cause these specialists, because they are very smart people and they know the repercussions. So they're able to design a very fine program for you. Then you call up the old bonds and issue these new papers to them. And everybody will be satisfied. Because you've taken their input, you've consulted them, they know, say, okay, Mr. Kabe mature 6 months there, but I'm just sacrificing just 1 year because I buying how to do this. Then I can get it in 2 years' time. Or bet yes, yeah. But look at you be on the bond, ever mature in the next 6 months, say, Obenyamu 5%, 2020, 2023, 0%, now next 2027, what you are 10% a man, I wouldn't answer. And that is the matter, that's the truth of the matter. Kwabena, you read debt restructuring, and the last one, you see gold for oil, now buying a no. Kwabena said and say, and now the NYT program is on catch say, what the 40,000 metric tons of oil laba. Sabokai.
Yeah.
Echo. Kwabena, yet the Kroman a Bank of Ghana and PMMC. Ebe catcher and say they started buying gold. You can look, I can send you the stories. They started buying gold from the small scale miners and the local traders. And they are going to use that to exchange for oil.
Let's get that statement from
stories.
Yeah, let's get
so almost to gold. I'll get it. You know. Kwabena, Kwabena, Bank of Ghana and PMMC akoto gold. The gold no ako amanone. Say omo de kwa akoto oil. And also omo exchange gold no with oil no omo de aba. Kwabena, omo kwa akodu amanone. Omo kodu amanone no omo de oil ne buy no. Deputy Energy Minister kachira yen say afa enye gold ni bi no omo de koje oil no. Na yesika and a Bank of Ghana, I'm for the Bank of Ghana, they could oil. Kwabena. So yes, you can't number the cause oil in the dia, and you gold number the common anyway. Kwabena, you gold anyway. Bank of Ghana and PMMC, to gold, if gold on the local market, somebody come on their exchange gold no for oil. Moko no man fa gold no man ko je oil no mako chesika into gold no way.
But I think the MPA in
Kwabena who statement Kwabena totally bogus. A pure rubbish. The NPA statement is pure rubbish and gibberish. It's the same things they've been saying since they haven't said anything new. Kwabena, they haven't said anything. You can't statement now. They haven't said anything new. They haven't said anything new. Kwabena, ya kachira almost say. Article 1815 is very clear. Kwabena, the only reason.
Okay, so I think that we have the MPA statement. I am more than 8 points. Anyway, so full implementation of the gold for oil program. Not just after a Japan mesa ababa kan wasem se ade no sika no de kotoye no I want no statement we ever so point one that is from obia mo Facebook no so obi benwa manu enhwem and it's very interesting. So point one, the implementation of the government's goal for oil for oil. G for C. G for oil program commenced with the arrival of the first consignment of about 40,000 metric tons of diesel on January 15, 2023, valued at about $40 million. About $40 million. So, and government institutions and deal with definite figures. Anna meboa.
Yeah.
So even 2 pesos that so crown your mind sika. So you need to quote it and let us know.
Yeah.
Say yeah, $40 million, blah 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 blah. And yes, I Thomas Motrono.
Yeah.
So you try even pesos because you account for what Sikabia base should be a peso. Okay, so about $40 million. Now, the prime objective of the program is to use additional foreign exchange resources from the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program to provide foreign currency for the importation of petroleum products for the country, which currently stands at about $350 million per month. Okay, so the point two. The prime objective of the program is to use additional foreign exchange resources from the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program to provide foreign currency for the importation of petroleum products. Okay, so payment for oil supply is to be done in 2 channels. By way of barter trade, where gold is exchanged for oil, or via broker channel, where the gold is converted into cash and paid to the supplier. So this is the new explanation.
No, this is not new. This is not new. They did this presentation to us at the MPE. They called
before
Amokofaba. They did this presentation, and we told them
that at a point in time they will need cash.
Yeah, almost a program no. Partly butter, partly cash. Kabna partly butter no. Agreement to buy na one company be assigned. Say obema obeji gold for oil, because most of the oil companies, they are not gold traders. They deal in oil. They are not gold traders. Enti partly gold, partly butter, no, partly cash, partly butter, no. How are you going to achieve that? Okay. Enti one day gold no ekoye. The second option is so once it's not gold no for oil there. What they are suggesting is then they may have sold the gold, converted the gold to cash and use the cash to pay. So how much gold did they take abroad? How much gold did they take?
Somebody gold worth $40 million. About $40 million.
How much of you are accounting to the people of this country? You are accounting to the taxpayer. How much ounces of gold did you take at how much price of gold at the world market? Don't come and tell me 40. How many ounces of gold now the Kwabena on it? Was about $40 million. How many ounces of gold now the call here? And at what price did you sell it? And you see, people, gold prices, we don't have just one price of gold. Though.
Yeah.
Gold have 4 prices at every point on the world market. Which of the prices did they use? What you say? And to Kwabena, and you know, a chrono kekonomo bomb or mine. Nyansa chrono, Kwabena. The tosubiu. Omadi oil no Kwabena 40,000 metric tons no. Every abrochire bedru Ghana no omo de buy a metric ton over $1,050 and almost spend a year. Kwabena BDCs no private people no the oil neba no the oil ne eba bedru Ghana $960 per metric. Kwabena tell you $960 per metric. BDCs no it me the product now back $960 per metric. Who are buying? Who say what the gold quite buy? You know what they are then buy $1,050. Not just say even more expensive than what the private people brought. Okay, Kwabena, who are buying? What they are expensive now? What they buy? You know, over $1,000. What say what they are not? will be all the oil buy any dear $960 per metric, need the end that's a good tank more bust. Would dear, I would buy any board and over $1,050. No, oh dear, Ansah. Kwabena, does it make any logical sense to you? Because commodity trading, Kwabena, oil no, a margins no, and a more money for so. Enti, Kwabena, a $1 crana is car. What you say?
Yeah.
Enti, BDCs no, at the product aba, abedu Ghana $960. Wo abai okoya, what the product abedu Ghana $1,050. What you say? Over $100 more than the BDCs. Wo they now they buy anybody and then they nasa. BDCs they now the same product too, the same source. What they know BDCs for them almost for that's good tank more bust. Does it make any sense? I feel almost say they subsidize the oil for people to be able to buy. Now okay, I had a problem the one.
Yeah.
Until or the oil 1,000 metric or the oil about what they buy no, market price in here 1,050. 1,050 now what they buy near cost to. Or by discharge what have you Q and Q other expenditure baby you know. Young fan say the price will go up to maybe 1,000 or on beton X pump to the OMCs at let's say $1,050 per metric. What you say?
Yeah.
Into what the 40,000 I buy $1,050 per metric at 40,000 no. That is about 46 million Ghana cedis. Now, Kwabena, 46 million Ghana cedis. No. So what are buying? What say what on would you no cheaper? What subsidize ya? What subsidize in the same? What on the same? Because what I suspect they say $1,050 now more abokano. One more bet me abetono even $900 per metric. Not to say omeyi about $150 and a free so. And no omaton ama. What you say?
No
munya faso na ekana ebebe eche na mo subsidy no mo de kana ma bust.
Na be ya abai ka.
What you say? Enti 40,000 we no eka obeba ama abani. Assuming say they are selling the product at even $900 per metric times 40,000. That is 36 million Ghana cedis minus 44 million. To 44 million minus 36. Into a car or more bono ato a buying on this 3.5 million, just one transaction.
Yeah, and for the subsequent ones,
where first month. Assuming say every month Tibiano or more boka 3.5 million and now to a buying 3.5 million times 12 $42 million a year. Kwabena into young fan say by the next 2 years, normal boka $84 million. A go kwa imitia. And sa $84 million we know. Or what so or mati product ni so. What you say? And the dia mo call for tons or mo call for ton no mo nya ho fa so. Or mati time mo it is a consignment we know. On say obi afa na ni hu betem. Or buy allocations.
No ba sa ba.
Kwabena away abai way. Oh my ya look say banana make us better charm mo.
Yeah, for that one yeah sure.
Say omo lifting, say product no mo
yes.
What you say? Omo cheche mo into we am allocation.
So omo na select
omo anko for omo cheche mo.
Omo say 27. Now what they are saying is say omo abehwe OMC's normal select omo no. Ama omo price is like control price. You need to sell it at this pump price. That is what they are saying.
Okay. Kwabena enti at what how much sakana because omakoto ade no over mind you $46 million no mo dey about $46 million no omakoto omaboka the product na ba or my move into omakoto no mo nya $36 million ah e ka $10 million na aka no hwan na ebetua Kwabena hwan na ebetua enti every transaction bi omo dey sakana beto amount by the end of the year in 2 years time a economy borrow at all and that money is going into their pocket. So full price obi catches full price baba from your boy
you buy some so much it so
away Kwabena full price
4% goyo
and on to petrol almost petrol so way. You see Kwabena that is not even the principal issue. Kwabena the other principal issue they say Article 1815 is very clear. Say, for any public contract, the contract must go to Parliament for approval if it's a contract between government of Ghana and a foreign entity. Article 1815. What kind of case, you know?
Yeah.
The only reason why a Supreme Court say we will and refund this kind of Ghana buying and say contract, you know, and call Parliament for approval. And that's
but we didn't get a Parliament
because company now got oil one on your Ghanaian company, and you see what they are doing is say they are hiding behind Bost. Say Bost and yet government. They are forgetting say the Supreme Court has ruled in the case of Kwabena and Attorney General and Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority. And Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, your friend is a port expansion project. Wamoko company this one major project, you know. Contract no anchor Parliament for approval. And no obedi court. I just the court. Kwabena, they are the court. A court no Attorney General echo argue say, oh, Ghana Port and Harbour Authority there. Omo government agency keke. But omo nya ban. Because if Article 1, what Article 1815 was referring to was the executive government. And at the Supreme Court, led by Justice Dateba, I say there be for state entities who appoint the head of the state entities. Ghana Port and Harbour Authority, CEO not why they appoint no? Ayo mampenyi. So mampenyi na appointing na what one or taking decision on whose behalf? Yes, your mampenyi. And they say if the person sitting there is appointed by the president and is taking a decision on behalf of the president there, then that person forms part of the government. And the Ghana Port and Harbour Authority and those agencies are all part of government. And that means that pursuant to Article 1815, the contract should have gone to Parliament for approval, and it did not go, and therefore the contract was null and void. The contract was nullified by the Supreme Court. Kwabena and Attorney General.
So even for them to use Boston will not work.
It will not work because it still has to go to Parliament for approval, pursuant to Kwabena and Attorney General. It still have to go to Parliament, pursuant to Article 1815. What I say, enti ada in a contract no mon fan call Parliament for approval. Enunti na ene yakachre Ghana for any etiefo nyina, especially Martin Opoku Prempeh. Ye boni koko. Dr. Martin Opoku Prempeh, Energy Minister, ye boni koko. NPA Mustafa Hamid, ye boni koko. Boss Edwin Provincial, ye boni koko.
But Martin Opoku Prempeh, I've heard that conversation somewhere. I don't know the validity of a yes and Komono, but Matthew Poku Prempeh Felice because of a tomb for NDC phone to me Jelino. He will just run to a menshia. Hey, ya jelly menshia ni ya omon pass antifuasem. So he's just fooling around. That stupid guy. He's just fooling around.
Kwabena, you see, enti ya kachira omo say.
So into a sedan wa yes. And do one and non Kwabena.
Enti ya kachira omo say. Adie no mo ye no. They have breached Article 1815, and any subsequent government, they will be prosecuted and they'll be asked to refund those monies back to the state on behalf of the people.
A quick one. Dr. Steve Mantea, former chairman, Public Interest and Accountability Committee. Menini nim komo. Doc, akwaba.
Yeah.
Afinsha paso. Doc, Cecilia, my name Ansah Thompson, Executive Director for Ansah Power Studio. Ansah. Then he raised some issue about this gold for oil issue at Anchor Parliament. What is your take on it?
Ghana Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative. It is Ghana EITI. War Ministry of Finance so year 2020 report, which was published on the 31st December 2022. Yeah, so system yimu esupo eye na usha enye transaction ni na na exercise for Parliament. And upon the Federal Parliament, a big dinner arrangement, as so. I'm a man, what will be. Let's say, yeah, no. I buy say or Togo or the cities meso now or the Secano or Unya gold, or the farmer on in Apa Poton. Now, or the farmer on here. Dear, over time, a third party, international company. Into a half a mono, not a half a year international transactions. That international transaction, as I say, for Parliament. Answer na ya ton gold na no because ye benya no ye de beto farm wo e de abaye memo ha farm wo no ye beto to third party to and no so no Ansah ko international transaction no as I say e ko Parliament mati say ebinumu e ka say we here say e be ko Parliament but you see na omo the boss ni ade na ye mfa to boss to any other companies, system or your refinery, no, corporate entities, limited by limited liability companies.
Okay.
There's a woman independence. But a banner say a buying Ansah and a 80 sana moya. Now it's ultimately or how another financial law to be a brown minor. And yet, as I said, Parliament, every movie. It's the entire state difference, you know. The boss, the human say, or top and one or top and what they are. Or how can you? It's to be the no, you start a bind say, na PMM is for now, mother, you make the anymore. Womuna, air tongue, gold, you know, ama a bind, a conflict of interest. It's as a PMM, you know, a regulator of gold trading. Womuna, I say, as I said, determine gold theory now. They call Amanonia Pacotono. Into a winter year, for instance, the regulator and sign your player at the same time. Now, a new year and Saka say they are performing a service on behalf of the state. That is a way to state Nankasa and a to Anamono.
So which means a state ne air to gold no aton ama amanone for.
Let us say executive no. Mr. Kwabena is now quite Ghana government and international third party. Article 1815 let's say, as I say, about Parliament for approval.
But here's the situation Omo Anko Parliament. What happens? Meaning the Omo Yana, is it illegal?
Constitution, at a Parliament now or the oversight powers in my Parliament. It is a parliamentarian not near my just a constitution or more mandate say you will make Jumano or more shaman in Yejumadia. Then the idea was guilty. As a Parliament, as a pound, as a pina, the president say no. One more ages, Anna Monte anymore. Now I'm waiting to share about Parliament.
But what read the MPA for a statement the explanations they have given to this, whether it's cash, whether it's gold, what read the details?
Yeah, fundamental issues are the movie Ebisa. Now no CSOC where a press conference Ebisa any idea.
Moya press conference no that.
Oh yeah, in the last week.
I see. Okay.
Now, there is potential corruption risk in the whole transaction. Oh, and say the Ghana take part in international commodity trading transparency project, a multi-country project. The Ghana a party. Now, it is trying to say, Omendia Udiga, our money and your private entity. Bemum are buying winning a money for the Gano, as I said, is saying no Mudaho. And for instance, in this particular case, you talk gold, you the Kwama on here for how are we going to select the buyer? As I said, Mudaho. Said ye, they are opinion in number 4 and engo this mwatija emmo
chief ogas obìnrin na fofo ase ne say
mini et me banesa
sa na fofo na fofo ta digwa
fofo ni wo mu ko school ye won na fofo nso amano ni
okay Matthias
dia na madam bi ejuma oyenyi the chance about that what I'm connecting with. So one share year, nay at the instant Ejananka. And then on she say, as I say, we are clear how you are going to select the buyer. Either you are going to do auction or what, however you are going to do. As I say, you get to the DHA. That's not what will go to the who top petroleum products thereby. How are you going to select the supplier? Now we know Bianco Ekanana, I'm flying Sikan Kujananka. Sounds like a woman who did the pricing policy. When you open Manania, they be a spot price and you offer the going rate of the product in our tunnel. If you see a hedge prices, medium to long term agreement. The ban is so quiet agreement, Libya, and so the figure. Then so spot price now do Uduma, and so this guy see with the pricing policy, no. Now announce the Muda on it DHA. Get us review and say, I find still also gold, you know, or better in city. In the year 10 Sano, the Coco share 2023 budget. Tika, I buy a chapter or say, or they better gold, you know, when your budget is the other. If you are buying at the sale or cherry, we are all compared to Canada Street, no other gold, you know. Because a band of cocoa, you say, your common on the eco resi syndicated loan. There, the above let us say, a children near Paco Tiaka. Now, when you need syndicated loan, a budget in the environment chain, and now say, I buy a district Bank of Ghana or a Yabusia. And I say, a honor Misruno, one share now a buying Bank of Ghana. It is the Bank of Ghana on dinner home. Said the assistant for dinner. Into one share, Nakuno, more Wako, a Chessica Gum, who Chessica Gumua, that chess a over economy, no inflation, and the can be a weekend further. In the disclosure on all these aspects of the transaction.
But, Chama. So who read Chairman, who read a friend is a MPA for a communique. Obviously, they are not going to end this transaction today nor tomorrow. Exactly. Yes, so which means are there be our share the questions we will keep on asking, they won't tell us.
Oh, we say you are paying a degree.
Like you've been there.
Oh, so information now, you can go under the Right to Information Act. Study us here. And you have been a touchman, and I kind of one and got a ye a reshimu over your courtroom. And the air that has any idea near Treasure. And the one shall 100 years in the bachelor. Such apples the feet of the bit map at the Shino. After they put
so at the end of the day, all these institutions are being handled by the central government. Executive knows need this happen anyway. And what do you do?
One and Odi a Japanese. No, central government.
Yeah.
And this will stop with no. And as I say, we say, constitution may acquaint every including demonstration, including legal action, including shrine, including petitioning office of the special prosecutor. And my Yabem would agree. Yes, you be saying a question. Yeah, press conference last week. This week, you got strategy meeting. After the next step, I will take it.
Munya meeting na ya hwe de be free aba aja
yo minyam da
ya ba wi ayi de minim say obeta ya ba studio abesra ye Martin da si bebre Dr. Steve Mantia former chairman PIA Kenya Tenen but say ade we no enya Arise Ghana and Kwana so but the point is say enyadia omubefi unless maybe serious streets demonstrations here and there across the country a bit tasu tamale a bit tasu ha yes they will ask the police and military to come and fool but you know there because I knew to be say I saw a video no the way say and the way they were confronting the military, it should send a signal to them. Say, look, obi ani breba. So mudi agrana man for to go so dia well.
Kwabena Argentina and they announce say in the next few days, you be announce it. Arise Ghana, your next line of action, and we hope say we announce here Ghana for will support, will rally behind us. So that we can do the things that we need to do. Because now Kabibi say we need to force these people to listen. You see, in fear you know a kawaii enemy. Say ya ma omo and stay within their means near more pressure. Kwabena one of your mind on best say no kojo toma a buy for a band or 4 minor the area in ye. And we don't want to get there. We need to put pressure on them. You best Ghana for sometimes meaning say Ansah no etoda for from ododo sometimes benim say be ehema koma enti mo say da yi mo adwene free so say de be ya say be ahon adwene kura no unya bp bia unya koma yare yenim pa yenim gda mo lose in the political system but we can't lose faith in our country Kwabena. We can lose faith in politicians but we can't lose faith in our country enti we need to ensure say at least gda kakra ye wo no Kwabena yemfa any brene all the resources at our disposal. You find Martin Kofo boot for boot. Say the beya, you be say by 2 years time or move free power code. Not at least a minor kakra kwa or what? Yes, a one ebiaka, ye fra, ye de be ye, ye de be see your man kakra. Ama in Chilima so about 2 on my bit is a Ghana no. Na ya bongo by. It's kakra na can you best say Ghana for. Mummy and sorry near mongo by. E mamu me enhwe nkofo we mamu say oman nyina akojo to enkodum pempen so a wo for oman de yehwa enye. We can't do that. We can't allow them to do that. And that is why ama ye ni abre ewiye kasa ye se obi bia nkura say wa wakoma aboto wa lose faith wa just say o de amanyosem anase amamu okura de ka wonni etire bio ye be sere mo bebi oman ne kono ya nhwe ye na nkofo we de oman ne ko sam ne mu say kim. We will lose our beautiful country for good, and we can't allow that to happen.
Yes, SSC will be sending a Ghana Federation of Labour petition against new excise tax bill on production of local fruit drinks and bottled water. Okay, so the attention of the Ghana Federation of Labour has been drawn to a new tax bill in the offing seeking to introduce a 20% tax, excise tax, excise, as in EXCISE, tax on locally produced fruits, drinks, and bottled water. And yet they crown.
They bought at the issue.
Or increase, you know. Facture a month for.
We when a friend excise stamp, no.
It's only 20%, which means bottled water and so boa. Okay, so I'll say a draft of the Excise Duty Amendment Bill 2022 seen by our members according to the framers seek to amend Excise Duty Act 2014, Act 878, to revise the excise tax rates for the number of products including all sweetened drinks and processed fruit juice which they don't attract excise duty. So obviously from taxation to production.
Kwabena ucha okete maria na unwe nambia.
Yeah.
So ucha okete maria na unwe nambia. You see, Kwabena, when him said last week, Bank of Ghana increase the monetary policy rate.
Echo say?
Echo 28%. Echo 28% from 27 to 28%. So they increases by about 100 basis points. Kwabena, what does this mean? Emra policy rate, you know, echo 27%, you know. Now commercial banks, you know, were lending to Ghanaians between 36% and 39%.
Yeah.
That's how much. Okojibusia bank interest. Say ya, ako 28%. You know, the banks are going to lend between 40 and 45%. Kwabena, you see, into one.
Meanwhile, no, omo ananka SMEs no omo bua omo nyina no moguno.
Kwabena, sa bottle water we are increasing tax stamp, excise stamp no.
Afa no mbe increase.
Business no will increase no. Businessman no. Wakojibusia de akoye production already the cost of loan, cost of capital equal 45%.
Yeah.
Who we are? How much can he be able to produce? Who we are? Who say the tax? To at the end so increase the tax. I must say prices no be cost. Prices no cost so conform to be bri. Kakrebe no conform better.
But the point is, we pass it on to the consumer.
So the point I'm making is that the consumer is always looking for cheaper alternatives. It will pass it on to the consumer. The consumer what does he do? He will withdraw. Or pay cheaper price, and I say
cheaper price no ever.
Or pay cheaper. And pure water anyhow.
Impurity say woman.
Kwabena. Where my no? We have I don't even penny. Where my? And what is going to happen is say, in effect, when people stop buying because of the increased prices, you've collapsed their business. Who collapse business? So we have to say okoje bosia bank. Went to non-performing loans in the banks will go up. You have destroyed the entire sector.
What is happening to MPP?
I don't know whether these are the people who say they think they know, they understand economics. We're a simple economics. And I say we can. Me share 2023 budget in Kwabena. They are increasing.
The last they are already paying 45% interest on loans.
So that means that by the 28%, we are going to about 50%. The truth of the matter is share who are buying. Monetary policy sits on two legs. One, management of inflation. Anytime I buying inflation, ebekoshono, at the Bank of Ghana a year, nyane say. Obey increasing the monetary policy rate. And Nuntina Ghana Statistical Service announced January inflation up to 54%. And a Bank of Ghana increases the policy rate. So the rationale they say when inflation goes up, the Bank of Ghana just 1 minute just 1 minute.
Abraham comes in Secretary General the Ghana Federation of Labour. Uncle comes in Majo.
Bobie, monsieur.
Bokode. We yebusa. O gase me obviously we yebusa. We yebusa say boko. But 20% excise stamp tax. What happened?
Bobie, you want the reason why companies be manufacturing companies be collapse for Ghana because of taxes. I tell you. We have about 14 different taxes. 14. Even if you are importing raw materials to come and then process here in Ghana, what count here? Would actually I'll forward all the listed ones to you. About 14. Now, really, you're got here. And I say, walk of Parliament. VAT 12.5. What is 2.5 account? I say, can I don't know the motivation. So what person would say, they want to destroy the economy. But I can't understand.
Okay, so in your statement, more can be said, what? So which means Oman Fremo, Abana and Fremo say yen trans and yen discuss and share how to fix it. Is that so?
Internet actually so that if they invite us. And I hope they will do that because you're telling them what why first reading, the second reading. See, one here, one but not here, they are going to pass it. And they're not paying and yet become ready. Let them come on. Actually, we'll follow up. Me and here, we want to pass it because what they, but I don't only over an e-levy. We all know what happened. Once it is there, they will do it.
Okay, so I Uncle Kumsen, Momo Titi no almost more explanation. They say almost increase their cost 20%. Looking at production cost, looking at the current light bills, water bills, and other and my cost of fuel and all that. About anything, ne say, or say the any hano. But that more issue statement. So, the more fair any sector minister to ask or government to ask.
And a prayer, let them become a coin. And a prayer, because yes, in Friday and you see, no, you take it in that we have to, petition. In the pay, near the in coin. In the China, will follow up. Near could be someone say about the same. You want to destroy the whole. I don't tell we some of us we are sick. We are sick and tired. I don't know what is happening. Mama Baya Musi, we are moving from a taxation to production. Production to destroying the productive mechanism. They are destroying everything. No production. You can't do any production. Taxes will be. We deal with the industry. So Mamimbusa, with these taxes and all that, then their drive for industrialization, where does it lie? No one do one for can say in India and Trump one do where the one do one is.
Over sure.
I mean I know they should challenge me. Opa, invite somebody to your studio. I also come there. No proof. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1D, 1F. And how many people are they employing? Bobie, we are losing workers on daily basis because the employers cannot cope. They can't pay these bills, light bill, water for the domestic, what's 8%? But industry, they are paying about 50% of the increase. But what is this? I have an example. I can't understand.
Yes.
Oh, I have some. That's the young people or intervene because I mean, what you want is beyond human understanding.
Okay, so Uncle Kumsin, young China more or Chan or Pamon contact, but me poor mefro. All right, okay, thank you. But Thompson, it seems the man is so frustrated.
Yeah, you see,
Papa Pedro is very frustrated.
Yes, and you wonder who is advising these people in terms of more economic decisions I want to take. Said the Manugu so Americano. Yeah, economy is divided into two fronts. We have the fiscal front, which is handled by the Ministry of Finance, and then we have the monetary front, which is handled by the central bank. So the economy is on two fronts. Now, what happens? They say once inflation goes up, the central bank will increase the monetary policy rate to bring inflation down.
Yeah.
So what it means that they raise the cost of capital in the market to reduce people's disposable income, so that there will be there'll be slower spending, and then it can bring inflation down.
Yeah.
That is the whole rationale. Kwabena, 2023 budget more. The Ministry of Finance increasing VAT, which is a consumption tax, by 5%, which is a serious inflation driver. VAT effectively bear the price of goods and services. So that 5% increment in VAT is going to drive inflation. Again, a balance and the fiscal measures, taxes. They say petrol costs by 15%.
Yeah.
Petrol,
light bills,
electricity costs by 35%. Yeah. What I say, all these things are inflation drivers because they increase people's production costs for goods and services.
Even
and then the
public
price
service
of goods, everything.
Services are increasing by 30% or 50%.
What I say, so these are into which the Ministry of Finance, all his fiscal policy measures are inflation drivers. So you have the Ministry of Finance, the government, on one hand, fueling inflation. And you have the central bank, on the other hand, increasing the policy rate to bring inflation. So the Minister of Finance is here, fueling the inflation. The central bank is trying to bring the inflation down. And on me, no synergy. So
thank you.
You wonder
thank you.
exactly what these people are trying to do. Whether they want to destroy this country for good. You don't know exactly what these people want to achieve with their recklessness and foolishness.
Thank you so much. Live on 100.5 Citizen Show. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah, Ansah Thompson in the house. Okay, let's do this.
Nana, Bobie, Ansah on the Citizen Show. Stay with Nana, Bobie, Ansah. All the politics you can know on Accra FM 100.5. Tune to the Citizen Show with Nana, Bobie, Ansah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, mame, and then me wanna men call your friend and say my community, and then my community say what me car, baby I will be ano any new community mu and come. What is going on there? But then you bejna our takrade, and this week we are looking at a sports facilities. So you be call a Sipon Stadium. Here you the Omaisika and Ayade. You do Omaisika and Ayay Japade. Tiemiye, what a trotro mu o fie baby I will be at tiemiye. Tadi for muntiemiye. Yadu a maisika and aye japade. Adia Ghana ni entimi nyane say ya japade na mebo a japade no ho ban na masiesie ni maye ni ye. And zaman for Bekaya, this is Sipon Stadium who asem. Ayi Bekaya Jogate. Mo guys say Jogate Bekaya wasem. Mon chaki Jogate the mame. But mamen show the current state of a year. Your friend is a Sipon. Say second for complain. My mention the current state. Me person ma obishebi. Accra Sports Stadium yakika. Okay, so video in here. This is the current state of a Sipon Stadium. President Kufuor esi ejaho. This is the current state. Okay, so video in here. This is the okay, so the current state of a year a Sipon, Kwame Jumo Ajiman, my colleague and head of sports class media group, Ewo Fiase. So many never my community. Kwame, I also will follow a year a video. This is the current state of a Sipon Stadium. Menya show Christ say no Obia Yusuo. I doubt it.
Well, at this moment, there, many are aware of Obia or Yusu South facility. No, at this moment, there.
Obia Yusu, Sipon
Stadium. Say, Yina Yebekaya, this facility are you? You see, no for Can 2008. Can 2008 African Cup I ball Krumha.
Yeah.
See, Yina Yebekaya 2008. Inti see Baku, you see Baku Kumasi, you see Baku Tamale, you see Baku second team, you see Baku so on crying. And can you Kumasi the end of the old facilities? But Obekaya you bugum and you say seen and Abu Nibeka say Yamo define. But Tamalini a Sipon the stadium you see no
from the scratch
and the Mefan say Bellanato level and there when you use for the Cup of Nations. No, the South thing they say once these facilities no year tournaments now. Ideally no teams and care Bobo or Honum no Komu Yusua, then the stadium would be in use, maybe about the area of maintenance as well. Na Abua into Tamale say a Tamale United or Tamale City in Soho, we Kumasi a Kotoko walking fights or and crying dear any baby. But unfortunately, no could drew a year second year and Katim Sanke Wahonuma, Ebi and Komo Bobo or Honuma and Ebema and Pennyfueni.
I didn't say you.
Yeah, Sentinel make us like Uko drew a year a Sipon Yena. Second 11 wise and Kuyi a year second year Zakes and also Kuyi. These are the two teams are non Komube Yusu facility we in Komu around her. In Tiakwa said because said these two teams no any available need know for whatever reason. I say
so and the best service second in Takradina.
Say baby wo nimporte mo friend no Sipon it's no a survey me fan say second D any takrade and I say second ni takrade but like I said unfortunately no akwa say teams be any high level either say Premier Division and I say Division 1 or use this particular facility no inti akwa say mpanifo o mo adwen free so o hwe previous budget saba in the last couple of years in fact funds have even been voted and I said they have been allocated for a year keeping the place together and I say ABI yedebe whole year kakra. But for whatever reason, like I said, to see a cramp on the Sabino Esiska, a yes our facility we are. club and you use.
Okay, but Ghana Nibian share stadium where you see no 2008. President
Kufuor before 2008.
In 8, but they're using from 2008.
That's right.
So which means the usage, But Mr. Mo, and Kamunya inside munya inside.
I think it's way outside.
Nanajma way outside.
Yeah.
Outside in Pony.
I see, you can imagine.
As soon as
if the last pictures I mean who yet. It was very similar to something like this. You see, Mefan said these were pictures I saw. Mefan said plus or minus about a year. You see, within that time now, ABC and Eddie, I'm sure say unfortunately, it may have gotten worse.
But Mr. Muni inside, Anyway, I think sir. Reporters, but there are other videos, other stuffs there, which I think so virtually. From one end to the other, the whole stadium
is outside the facility.
The whole place is rotten.
I mean, the pictures do not lie. Rotting is probably an understatement. Now this is a sipon. Unfortunately, the IAD, the pictures do not look great. I mean, Mekai, the last time I bought any official match, Mekai said just as early as 2016, 2015, ho baby cry boy MTN FA
even pitch no cry say yo. Where you a drone
exterior no cramp say be yenye yina o interior na odwen. Exterior no cry na say be enche da in look good. So interior there must be a bit worrying. It must be a bit worrying.
Bernard Mona minim say one so na age sports when it's very sad and Bernard, this is a Sipon stadium. And the whole place is rotten. The whole place is gone. I mean, the stadium is gone. I mean, just like that. And I know, sir, we will be on it sports, so sports facilities, and these are one of the things that keep the community also going.
That's it. But let me start on a very sad story. Say one of Ghana's Black Stars players has been trapped in the
Turkey.
But still,
Christian Achu is yet to be found.
I just saw some statements.
He was on the 9th floor with a friend when this disaster happened, and as of now, it's a very difficult thing to imagine when it starts coming like this. In terms of sports facility, Oko, Esipong, and Tamale, they were the two new sports stadia that were constructed mainly for CAN 2008.
Yeah.
Now, what I know is that the LOC at the time just did not construct a football stadium.
Yeah, quick. Sorry, I mean, yeah, reporter, line also, Simon Ansah. We don't, Simon. Facha me what? Facha me. I think there was a miscommunication. Facha me. Say the current state of Sipon Stadium. To say.
Current state of the Sipon Stadium is Secretary Kanwasama Mekade on Cheyu Kra or Sunday. Eba Western Regional. The sports stadium a Becca Sakope, apart from that one or one my friend, secondary sports stadium and the friend Jenu Park. And I'm penny for share and Koboshan will see or a Sipon Naman. Ampa 2008 to 2 now will see a Sipon sports stadium will see one of my. No, if a year pa when the years. Western region so at least or your national cake in the be easy. Now so bibi or if any maintenance culture or Abano Manganama on Shadar on Koyi infama Manganan on so come into Minoka say Equisipon Sports Stadium at a twap pan some cra. Now the oil when there on Che Biara Becca and then penny football to budget team another or your minister, finance minister Korka there. It is about almost 90% complete or innovation local warrior. Almost 90% complete. Now, so Bobie, me no cohono and one hour you mentioned one said that one share, Nanka, one hand one yes, see, or honomono, as a Benton judgment going in on a day. Sika or the washer and I would show on a cow, and my one so to me now when you been always what to one bonata, Sikan Yaza Oba,
na minister onche bia so san so bay ozi oye e ka bi fa status bi besisi wo share there sister obe share
da bay no de besisi wo Simon da bay
ya ka oye akobe ya afini na ozi
minister bay no
oye sport minister na ozi be besisi ho no o abra oye finance minister be ka
when the sports minister Mustafa Yusuf okay
yeah ana ozi besisi ho no mo ka there obohwe na da me edifice wotum na waye hu ejuma eboko one status wo this word Robert afani nyina ho na so ejuma kasa odon kankan no wo wotum wo hwe emro pro ka obey innovation no ya za oye GSTS Seko secondary schools are western region naran one away one interquar na ka tracks neze otumoto emeka na azu wo ma born so otumo born wo oye phone no na so oye ngwa na azu na wo na na bia asase odon ko hwe na sili no na baby atochema odo wo hwe na ka wo sese keke na so ntum na wo sese de me sese ni na man de adwuma yafon wo pa sili no du nyina re de wo yen wo sha se wo so ndade ni bi na wo sha se wo ye painting when dusimara ina wo je painting ya wo zigu ono ma wo kwai besin gram no kase ebo kwane ndazin ona me de hon osan so obele ponintin wo pado no wan stand wan ye adwuma ntin ndazin a sha se a osan so ore pro and the eco sports stadium ni inside an kasa so bona tracks na kasa e hwe drone shot na obele bona tracks no de baby aye white a e hwe football pitch na kasa so a no so mpono a sha se ore se kra system no kase wakada wasan so wa ye ne biem ma sika de wotum wo de hyemu no Osinisi campaign kodo wodi ye ho ne yi ehun de nyo ososo ye pa na me
so which means Ansah say stadium obia nyusu kra
obiara nyazo okohonom ebekwana wode parlock wode atum na imazi kwa ya reho wo oye secretary kwaza ebekwan ina oye sport council na wash sport do western region ha one office o shehono mara de bia wo so na po ka shehono ko ye adwuma na be se de ebe na adwuma pa na wo office
meba eye National Sports Council
one office no
regional office no emas National Sports Council no ewo ehwa
sports stadium inside no one offices owo
omko office kotena ho
ekoye adwuma na wasan so pay obo 5 we pay na wabese ko ze bisa ne the sisters kenita krazi ye stadium so wa hinara asase even pitches are why Nancy Campo Sports Council for two moving in nature. Able contracts na come from what Jago motor maker and my secondary school when you're genuine and then secondary school farming when baby Pano Academy or test a fracture when you work training. I'm actually also to make a international stage. Or send the next stage, oh yeah, maybe to make kind one there. Internationally, no standard in ESC stadium, or multi-purpose stadium, or so on, overhand, boy, baby, or yet TTU, a school for you around Poeta Criterion University, Fiara, and one okay, one training as well. And then you know, when you know when you baby training now, Nina Abona, since I can't maybe obey or yes,
all right, Simon, thank you so much. Nyamisha was say what they reportage you are brave. Na me editor me some figures because what I heard me say ye co World Cup appearance fee the bema ye no ye no bi na omode ye various sports facilities no enho adwuma e Ghana
not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
So World Cup no the FIFA organized tournaments. It's ABI our team qualifier at every stage of the competition we ska unya. So akwa ese bi bia akwa boxing na say bi akwa play ni sport bia bonifre bi prize money as skada so it's no oboko drum pempen so bi bia obinya skasi na so obinya skasi normally no skano enco through the government skano be go through the local federation in this case a GFE what the GFE intends to do with the money that one is up to the GFE but in your ska eba aban honum directly say bia mo faska we nyi say na mo fanyi say enya sanity.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it now. Juliana is very sad. This is my hometown, Secondary. This government has taken us for granted. All we need is to just vote them out. Okay, so Prophet Deniso says, how can Ghana get good athletes? But my remember back to Bernard Muna on this. Bernard, this is the current state. Your reporter, no, and it's very terrible. The community is that because that day we vibranter. The kind of employment a Juma Beba community is very huge. But here's the case, Yatutum Bankrophobic office war.
I mean, that's it. So, of course, our stadium now, you notice that, and yes, there is a gym facility in that stadium.
There are a lot of things.
There is a virtual hotel In fact, hotels, I think about 40 rooms.
Stadium.
Really? Overlooking the football park. Into alcohol, and you are renting or you are in use of the stadium hotel rooms now. When there are games, you can just watch the games from the window.
Really?
Yes, without necessarily even coming to. So this was deliberately constructed. And the stadium has one of the largest parking spaces anyone can, inside and outside.
I see.
How come we have not been able to just furnish the hotel rooms and other facilities so that the stadium can be in constant use? And the rates that many people will want to pay to use the stadium facility will not be the same as commercial hotels. So
yes,
the rates will certainly come down. So many people will go, and the facilities are top-class facilities. And the security will be higher compared to other places. Simply poor maintenance culture. The attitude is that run it down and say that state institutions are not functioning, and then they can auction it to private sector.
Oh, but they can with
I mean, see, that is what has always been. How many state institutions have we not deliberately run down? And then we turn around to say that they are not making profit, and then we give them out to private sector. So, in my opinion, deliberately, why? People are paid. There is a director for the National Sports Council. And yes, sir. And the regional sports development
regional sports development officer. Yeah.
There is the regional sports development officer.
Yes.
The person is being paid to oversee that this stadium is running down. No. And if these things are under your supervision and you make sure that they run down, you will suffer the consequences for it. And it's always deliberate. Because why? You pay people at the end of the month whether they have worked or not. And yes, sir. And okay to you, one quay Juma Crown boy, Bama Wabedu, okay to you. And to me, sorry, and a now see Uko ye. And you may now see Uko adoring. Ahumachi now see Uko say. So you don't go to work because why? You have a monthly pay to take. Even things to attend to in your office, you don't go. And so persons now, more or more that authority to intend these things.
But I wish they can get us because last year my year is almost 90%.
But you are going to host. You are going to host all, and that is where Okaya Jogate Ebeka say it is not true, and that near Minister Nen Crawford Ekano, they want to incite the people against him because no MP constituency no. Yeah. And no who say Jumano Enko the way you have come to describe it. Now, the constituents will go and think that Obi Akwashase and to go and do the thing right. And don't forget that Jogate has been the sports administrator for a second, D. Hazakes.
Yeah.
And yes, sir.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So they have been there. So he will not allow you to go and say that a Sipong has been 90% or 80% completed, works have been done, when indeed everything is not done. All African Games is coming in August.
Yes.
And that is the state of even existing stadia.
Say no crampo the mefan say you should just one facility. Legon and balcon so a year last be quite so baby.
But some of these things can be used as training pitches and what have you.
Oh, of course.
You understand?
The thing is, almost all the facilities now you see for a year can 2008, no. Brony Free BB legacy programs. ABI tournament new year, facility would be a day. Who could drama on here to say venues are used for World Cup, Qatar use venues for World Cup, all the other countries are on who see World Cup, African Cup, Olympic Games near the end. Or more legacy projects into ABI competition now, a deal we would be a day. We are deal we would be a day. Or share who memoir for the legacy projects, no, senior minimum air cano. Some of the facilities no crampono or share paper swa Mekaiso Rex Dankwa on a chief operating officer. Yeah. Some of the facilities were just the hotels near the in and then there was documents on ABA keeping a very proper maintenance as far as these facilities are concerned. But unfortunately, I mean it's only 14 years and now 15. It's 2008 to 2023. It's only 15 years. 15 years almost all these stadia have had to go for a certain level of rehabilitation at some point. And you know, sometimes I honestly do not know why some of these facilities, after just a very short time, not just say you're asking yourself a lot of questions.
If you go to Esipong, it is not just football, athletics.
Oh yes,
It's even more.
We have tracks there.
And
unlike Accra Sports Stadium where you don't have you use tracks, no.
Yeah.
If you go to Esipong,
so which means Esipong Stadium is well sophisticated.
Yes, yeah, it's a multi-purpose facility. Apart from football, now your ball park, so athletics tracks, so for all the athletics competitions or mobile person or mobile any idea. And at this point, from the pictures that I'm seeing, I'm not too sure it's athletics no crumpo and a ball no crumpo ball park. I have my doubts.
Messi Rerebi, but Danladi says Ghana is on auto reverse. Alexander says the man couldn't manage his father's properties. How can he manage a Ghana property? Commander, Kojokrom Railway workers have not been paid for 4 months. Check that one too for us. Talk ready for it you. Okay, so Prophet Dennis Wall says, Bobie, please let your producers do a check on Christian Achu because there are news popping up about his death and well, let's
some portals are reporting that he's been found alive.
Someone saying
I branch about called Nigeria near on no team. Or no, they're not so no new building at the time of the incidents. No, or they are to the Instagram page say. I mean, one can explicitly there, but the ocean inferral not just say he's not dead at this point. He's not dead. Okay. Let's keep praying and hoping. Say, or move it to me, you know.
Oh, okay. So that's fine. I mean, we are hoping. Yeah, bonfire. But this, some of the stadiums and war communities, no.
Well, community. Sports is not just just for recreation. Sports brings out other talents, and it's money these days. Canena na yebi a bobo anase to America anase any other sports. I was more like on an amateur level. So see, our sports is business because sports has gone professional. It is will be Asia kaya na so be bobola. Yina ya na weekends ya shabro for no bushri ska omojeno bosomi na watching ya. And for example, when there is a match. So if you are crying, see at least you know your crying. The match for Accra Sports Stadium. Will be your tone Diani, will be your tone su, will be a
drink.
Anything that you can think about. On match days, beton replicas, merchandise, and all of that. So it's not just about ABI bomb match no be even for emotional reasons. Obi on more crown neraho. But over here, then
Emma Hotel business is so sorry.
Exactly
because
exactly. As a tournament, amount for bar, make all kata hotels and all of that.
The restaurants, the
restaurant business, the transport business,
and drinking bars,
the pubs. Everybody makes some amount of money. It is so Bibia all those other businesses are also directly affected. Which is a bit problematic, and so we will be familiar with those areas. I mean, Sekendi and Takrade. Takrade is relatively buoyant, but once a facility we're Sipon, so you're familiar with that place.
So area Sipon here in between Sekendi and Takrade,
and Aqua SSR area, it's like me fancy a outskirts facility at home, and Shadan Nikru Ninfi.
Oh, okay.
Facility are our outskirts. So one more when you best say very quickly. And we'll cronin fifi at least in Crawford Befa or Mobile Hunu de Bia. So on bet you are Basu. But the facility in the our outskirts are Obian Pon for home. Into when you bounce on Nakwan and Eco form. Reports on the car BB. So call a year Western Regional, the Regional Sports Development Officer, the office our stadium home. So every day he goes there, he sees this. It's just sad say last year, Senior Mineral Munaka, apparently finance minister Nakaka baby say not almost CC, and then it turned out that about 80 to 90%. Then it turned out that me say na and said that Ansah because now Uraj you got to MP for his card time. Say any area no, and I think he wasn't pleased with those comments. But like I said, Bibia and said that and koso. So maybe that is the reason why I almost saw just more money a no. Almost was a Ibia, Sebi, or Masha, the you money kakra because you could see the neck ramp. Sebi, and then the bay.
All right, so Kwasi Tax in London has sent you a message. You say, so Bobie, it is true. I mean, what your resource personnel is saying is obviously true. Come and see how UK has managed to transform their 2012 Olympics venues into beautiful environs. And it's a shame that these we sit here and we don't do anything about our sports facilities. And one issue. Then it seems information be Ora Bernard Moda and the Amam says he are still Achu. I think so. He's stuck under the rock.
Yeah, at this point, information.
The president of the club.
Yeah, the only worry is
Hattersport.
Yeah, Hattersport. The only worry is say the longer he stays down there, because we don't know where exactly he is down there in Framampo and Faho. The longer he stays there, every minute is getting worrying by the minutes.
But they say the honest they are still.
So at this point, Krampono, Sabi, untimin confidently and Kase, ABA, machines or Modi where Jumano or Modrum Pempen so be ABA in the next 2 minutes, and answer in the next 1 minute, and that's where it gets very worrying for Sabi Ubia or Nim Nebusia for now for 4. It's a bit frustrating at this point.
All right, okay, Nanajima. Thank you. So I'll join you studio. I say, but quick one answer that Nanajima me better best sorry no. Mama fa me pacho check it. Adia mama me ya adwuma ya temafo follow ye. And o ma send me a video bia is very worrying. Na Jubilee my friend say mama he edin no ye na ma kwankoti. Okay, so Golden Jubilee Terminal. No container, nothing. Any. This is Golden Jubilee Terminal. Jubilee, my friend say. This is okay. So Obia or Habia bet me. Minim said Bernard. Ocean will phone Swana. This is Golden Jubilee Terminal, and that day there is nothing, absolutely nothing going on there. Absolutely nothing. Nothing is going on. Oh, Golden Jubilee Terminal. No containers coming in. I mean, Bibi and Koso. And information, you say, Ajman phone in your coffee. Omunina coffee. This is a terminal. Always, Ubonus a free. Yanim Crano, ya better Rollins, no. A free Rollins, Kofor, Apenso, Mills, Mahama. You will see the place bubbling up. Back. Now, this is the current state of Golden Jubilee Terminal. Nothing is going on. Even the instance now, nothing.
Now, say, Bobie, in talking about the dilapidated stadia across the country and infrastructure, make I say, state authorities deliberately want to run down state institutions in order that they can sell them. And so, more tongue, no more tongue, in not quite a long time. Okay, say hotels in Ghana were being sold by Kenoforata. And it was Bernard Champon who was going around to buy your friends saying La Royal Beach Hotel, Elmina Beach Hotel.
I see.
Bourgeois Beach Hotel.
I see.
Yes. And not Oka Koto and Oko Drew. I think Elmina and Nana Kofi Kondia. Kondia just came straight to the chief of staff and Oka said, Mate se mo ba beton hotel no. Montong assassino, mantong and massing it. So you can come and take your buildings away, but the land, we are not selling it.
Really?
Oh yes. So some of our chiefs are upright. Some of our chiefs are very upright. Lahano, omantong assassino amma La Royal Beach. But Muka Kotong, the facility. So these are the things that fit. And when you go around, it is the same people.
It's interesting.
They want to run down this institution.
My time is up, and
I'm sorry for coming.
Yeah,
late.
I know.
Time now on the I'm working for PLO Lumumba to come to Ghana for some event. And
wonderful.
It's towards the 23rd.
Yeah. Thank you. My time is up. All right, so that's it. Top Choco for Motimenka, Baby Amobiano, Mechiamo Bebre, Citizen Show, Monday edition, and the Brem. You didn't come over, bring me out of my cha. Your best I add to us to be, let's do this. Such a sentence here. The truth of the matter is that importers are no more important.